Okay, maybe let's start. So I hope the screen switches.
Yeah, switch screen.
So why another tier list? So because it was botheringly amazing how we placed some of the units on our previous tier list, and that tier list was made like what, 8 months ago, almost at the beginning of the 8.3.1 with delayfix. So I've been not content with the placement of some units. I don't know how about you, Dranzer. I think you are quite content considering our previous discussion.
I don't remember the previous tier list at all.
But you know, due to like some experience I gained in this patch, I decided to switch some things around. So that's why we are doing it again. I don't know how long it will take us. I hope it will be shorter than the last one. But here we are. Okay, so let's start with the controversial unit. Knights of Amrafamdirian.
The only good things about them is that no one expects them. They are bad.
I will put them in the high C tier.
Okay.
Okay. So the Knights of Amraf. They are kinda like any other Elite Elven cavalry except worse. Why? Not sure. Okay, they can be worse stat-wise, but also they're expensive, like 1k for one battalion. Sure, you get discounts, but you need to buy like 3 Knights of Amrafamdirian to pay off the discounts, and not even including the cost of mirror itself. So they're expensive for their stats, and then they are not even performing that well as we would expect them. Sure, they can be quite tanky despite being the least tanky like elite elven cavalry. And then their trample is also mediocre. The melee damage apparently is the same as any other elven elite cavalry, but it doesn't feel like it. I don't know. Overall, not amazing cavalry. You cannot put many leadership on it as you don't have any mounted hero. So yeah, on top of that, it comes with Sanctum instead of green pasture, so we have to build extra building to get your elite cavalry. But you know, it can survive. It can heal during the trampling because it's elven cavalry on that level too. And you can use that extra armor from Sanctum to make them extra beefy, which makes them kinda on par of, let's say, Sindar nobles. So yeah, I would say high C. Maybe middle C, but let's leave them here for now. What do we have here? Hello, Adivasi. Next, Minas Tirith Archers. I think, like, your average tier 2 Archer, you get what you paid for. They get that formation at level 2, which allows them to do, I think, more damage than our upgraded Aphelions, which is quite good. But, like, nothing extraordinary. Nothing bad about them. I would say low A tier or high B tier. Maybe low A tier.
Definitely no A tier.
Okay, then high B tier. Why? Because Aphelions exist.
Exactly. There is no space. Most of the time, I feel like there's no space for them in team games and 1v1s. Because either in team games or 1v1s, you go for Blackroot Archers and then Aphelions. And then if you think about, okay, but I can stack so many leadership, I can get Boromir leadership, Denethor leadership, inferior on them, right? But in order to do that, they have to stand near that archers, and when there is Denethor and Boromir in the front line. So usually, you don't go for that leadership. You don't get that leadership. I mean, you can obviously micro the heroes, but then they are not fighting, so it doesn't make much sense, right? It's just extra labor you have to do. So they don't receive that leadership. While Faramir will be in the back rank and will support the Aphelions, but even better leadership than the Boromir, in my opinion.
Yeah, and barely anyone makes Denethor or Boromir. They're like the least made heroes of Gondor. So
yeah.
Knights of Minas Tirith, extremely cost-efficient cavalry. I would put them in A tier. Somewhere in the middle.
The worst performance I saw of them was in the movies. Usually they perform well.
Yeah, they are just fine and they are very cheap due to the farm discounts. So somewhere in A tier. They will survive, not as much as let's say Rohirrim, but they will survive. Anorian Pikeman, I don't know, the usual bitch pikeman. Nothing special about them, nothing bad about them. Yeah, simple B tier. To be honest, like they're kinda good because they're that not elite, they're like tier 2 pikemen. You don't want your pikemen to be too expensive, but yeah, they are somewhere in the middle. Oh my god, I'm getting Facebook messages. Anorian Swordsman.
I mean, it's alright.
It's alright. I would say normally they would pretty good, pretty beefy stats, good damage, and they have that charge ability. If you give them that banner and use their charge, they will obliterate any other unit. But the issue is they won't do much against heroes. Also, you have already amazing infantry as Gondor in your Losarna Hacksmen and Lambedon Clansmen, so there is not always need for you to tech up to get an Anorian Swordsman, and it's usually no tech up meta for most factions unless like you are Ozengard or let's say DG. So it's either very low A or like high B. I would put them in high B.
Yeah, same B tier, because
Losarna exists.
Exactly. They don't. The only like when your Boromir hits level 5, that's when you probably could should switch to them because they will perform very well, better than Axeman. But Axeman already get leadership from Forlong and from Denethor, so it's only that Boromir leadership from level 5. Okay.
Let's move on. Barding Marksman or Longbowman. I have no idea when was the last time I saw them in 1v1, and they are become even more rare in team games for some reason. And I can see the reason. It's not Archer meta in 1v1 definitely, and in teams games I think they're getting replaced by like Dwarven Death Blob or Iron Hill Crossbowman. And you know, when you look at their stats, they are not elite archers, they are just like your tier 2 archers, and the leadership they will be getting is mostly from Brand. Will you be getting Brand or will you be getting Glowing Gimli? Maybe you'll be getting Brand later, but even if you get Gimli Glowing, then you are getting what, Dane or Stoham later. So I don't know. I think if you want like better archers as Erebor, you get Iron Hills. So yeah, go on.
I like going for Brand because just Archer present versus Erebor is so nice, right? But I don't go for them. In theory, he gives them leadership, but it is a pain in the ass when you have to cover those archers every time with your pikes. You just want to move with one blood in team games with your dwarves. So there is no need to.
Similar thing in 1v1.
It used to be meta in 7.3.1 team games to make them, you know, but that was before the dark times.
C tier, better the number of cards.
Yeah, I think just C tier because there's no need for them.
Barding Phalanx. There is problem with barding units in general. These are melee units. Why would you make Barding Phalanx if they are slower than most units? I mean, most units, like half of the units in game, because the movement speed is 50, while most of the units have like 55. And on top of that, they are just your standard pikemen, and pikemen are in generally probably the worst unit type in the game. And then they are slightly bit more expensive. Why you want expensive pikemen early on? There is no reason for it. They don't get any extra revenge damage, they don't get anything. There are slightly more beefier Lorien pikemen, but they are still pikemen, they will just die to swordsmen anyway. So I would say like mid C tier.
Yes. I feel like the only moment when you could go for them instead of just Erebor pikes is when you want faster pikes around your mine to counter cav or trolls. But then, if you want to do that in
Lake
general, Lake Town. Why? Yeah, why you didn't went for Lake Town?
Okay, we got something from Assyrian. I would prefer Porcupine, by the way. So the speed command is bit of misunderstanding. The horse speed are 50 of most of the units, when the individual unit, if needing the catch-up speed, is 55. That is partially correct. So the horse speed for the most units is 50 or 55. And then usually the speed of the individual unit is 5 more. So let's say 55, 60. But most, like at least half of the units early on, horse speed is 55. So Whitemen, Uruk Scouts, Snow Orcs, what else? Lorien units, Sylvans are extremely fast. What else? What are other factions? Tribesmen are 55. Hobbits are 55. Dunedain are 55. I think Black Uruks are 55. Although maybe shouldn't consider Black Uruks. I'm looking for any more units that is 55 early on. Yeah, but half of the units in early game is 55 or more. Yeah, but some units are obviously going to be faster than some others. Yes, Barding Phalanx just falls into that 50 category. So if you want 5 fast pikemen for Erebor, why would you get it if it's not fast enough to catch half of the units in the game anyway? I think we should continue, Dranzer. Barding Swordsmen. Again, there's a problem. They are not fast enough to catch like half of the early game units. And when it comes to combat, yes, they are probably the best or the second best unit you can get early on. They obliterate everything. I think the only unit they lose to are Guardians, and that is the issue. If they are not fast enough to catch some units, then you don't want them. And if they are getting outperformed in combat by Guardians, then you want Guardians. There's absolutely no point of getting Barding Swordsmen. If you want to say they're like, oh, you're elite swordsmen, then I say then later you have Uzbadul and even your basic dwarves with juicy leaderships, then why bother? So I would say C tier higher than Barding Phalanx, but still very low.
I saw some good performance in team games on like Tarnos when played very defensively with Erebor and getting those guys instead of Guardians. So a bit easier to defend yourself around the mine because of the speed. And then you can do like a normal push with them and some pikes, right? Mm-hmm. And you are not worried about getting caught by enemy faster infantry. But that's very niche, right?
Yeah, that's why, because they are very niche, they are here, and they are very expensive to begin with, so that very expensive unit can really suffocate your economy early on. So, Battle Wagon, we put that bad boy in S tier last time, and I have no idea what we were thinking.
Exactly. Oh my god, man. Cav that is countered by Cav?
Yes, Cav that is countered by Cav. But still... Go on. No, go on.
It's just a little bit faster than Woodland Realm units. You can't... Oh my god, you have to play against someone very new in order to punish Woodland Realm for not having pikes in the right position when driving a fucking battle wagon.
Yeah, but luckily most factions are not Woodland Realm, but still. Problem is, it's more difficult to get battle wagon than other cavalry units, because the workshop is more expensive. The battle wagon costs 500, which is I think fair price, and like overall time to get it is quite long. You're rewarded with very good trample, with immunity to archers, with almost immunity to archer heroes, but in return your cavalry battle wagon is dying to other cavalry and is unable to do any harassment. Also, they come with extremely juicy leadership on level 2 that is even better than the statue leadership for some reason, and then they have toss a barrel. If they cannot trample, then can just toss a barrel to the blob of pikemen. So I would still say there are someone in A tier, maybe even better than Anorian Knights. Lower.
Gondor Knights are more flexible, I feel like.
Okay. I'm
Easier
fine with
to
that.
get value.
Boring Berserkers D tier.
Yeah, nerf to the ground.
Nerf to the ground, like why would you pay so much for a unit that gets two-shotted by revenge damage of tier 2 pikemen? I don't see any reason. They don't do that well against heroes. Heroes will obliterate them, especially archer heroes. They die to pikemen. I don't see any point.
Nope.
Nope. Berserkers, absolutely fucking broken. Look how they massacred my boys. So Berserkers, unlimited, damage almost as high as damage of the best heroes in the game, huge AoE, cheap, fucking can dodge arrows, is fast. What else? I mean they cost a lot of CP considering they're only one unit. Oh, and they can get upgrades for even more damage and for tankiness. Yeah, S tier.
I think your mic is a little bit too close. Just
Okay.
by that. I love the fact that you can get plus 50% speed, which is so crucial on that Isengard Death Clan because it allows you to catch heroes, catch units. So good, man.
Yeah, they give leadership also. What else? Oh yeah,
Plus
they benefit
force.
from other modifiers. That Ugluk 100%. So they deal, I think, 300 hero damage, which is as much as, let's say, Boromir, and then they get buffed, let's say, by Ugluk by another 100%. They do 600 hero damage, which means to the most units they deal 1200 damage. It means they one-shot everything. That's very balanced. Blackroot Archers. Solid Archer that is overshadowed by Infantry of Gondor and the meta, I would say. So very low BC tier.
Very low beat here.
Oh.
Just average.
Average. Black Uruks.
Good unit, but Mordor has access to even better and easier access to even better infantry early on.
Variax.
Yes, if Tagrad came out with the leadership, because he doesn't came with the leadership, or does he? Because he's level 3.
No, he needs, I think, level 3 to get that armor leadership, and I think he gets active ability.
Well, just a little bit too late.
I mean, I don't think they are meant to be like get them instantly units. I think they are just upgrade to your orc spam. If you decided to orc spam without Easterlings, then you need some beefy unit to do the damage. And one of those units is Black Uruks, right?
I don't know. You need to upgrade, so it slows you down for a bit. But on the other hand, if you want like go pure orcs, then you have to go for Legion of Morgurs, and even though they are good,
Do you?
You can't get heroes builders while building them.
I don't know, I would say somewhere in maybe low A tier.
Too high for my taste.
Okay, but higher
That's
than...
your
That's my theory. You can make Variax, so no points making them. I would say there's points to
Exactly.
making them because you can get more leaderships on them. But I don't know.
I guess.
I make them much more often than Minas Tirith soldiers, so I have very high B tier. Bounders, one of the best harass units in the game.
Easiest tier.
S tier. Holy moly.
Bro, they saw 3 and they're like gone. They
What?
saw bush. They see bush and they are gone.
Oh
They
yeah,
see
they step.
a little bit of grass and they are fucking gone.
Yeah. But I can see your point. If you are a faction without cavalry and you are facing Riven, that is probably I mean, maybe it's not over for you, but it's going to be very, very difficult because you're gonna be swarmed with banders. They take down building extremely easy. They trade with units very well. They stealth because fuck you. That's why. Yeah, maybe S tier, and they get that leadership from Gildor.
And even if you lose them early on, it's only 175.
No, rock throw. Brilliant pikes. I don't know. I don't feel they are worth the price. Maybe they should be a little less expensive. What do you think?
I think they are just average normal pikes, but for some reason, I see those guys get level 3 and level 4 on a regular basics compared to any other tier 1 pikes. Which is very weird, because there is nothing special about them. And yet, even without Gildor, I often see them with armor from level 3.
Yeah, and because of that armor, I think easy access to Gildor leadership, I would just put them somewhere in here better than an Alrian pikeman.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Just your, average pike.
broken rebel, S tier, where? Better than Berserker.
Oh my, I don't know. Maybe not?
Maybe not. Maybe you're right, maybe not. But I think better than Bounders.
Yes, definitely. Holy fuck. How good is that building damage?
Yes, King. So for some reason they have extremely good damage. They are quite squishy though, but they cost 100. That's a good price for a unit that can dish out so much damage. And if they get one farm, they get level 2 and they rise up as Risen Dead. And then if you don't have cavalry, you are screwed. Then you can... yeah?
They trade so goddamn well under Dark Presence early on. It's crazy.
Yeah, speaking of Dark Presence, you can stack so many modifiers on them. You can get Thrain, later you can get Kamul, Necro, some spellbook power. I mean, not spellbook power, I guess you can throw Carnage in there. Nah. And there is sometimes you don't even have to make any tier 2 or elite units SDG because Broken Rebels. Yeah, over here.
Axemen of Lasana can't deal with them if they are in such a great number with heroes.
Yeah, sometimes they overwhelm even Axemen. I hate them. They're expensive.
I hate them as well.
Like, who thought it's a good idea to make this pikeman that doesn't even have that good stats 375? It's their only pikeman. And they cost 375 resources. Who in the right mind? I have no idea. C tier, extremely low C tier. I'm not putting them in D tier just because they are needed. They are a necessity.
Yes, I agree.
Brother, I think they have... yeah, I think they're either the same or only a little bit more better in terms of endurance than Lorien pikemen, but they have lower damage than lower pikemen. But still, they cost extra 75 resources. Like, who thought it's a good idea? Oh my god. I hate them.
That was personal.
Yeah, that was personal. Armored Castellan. Good units, that is extremely slow, which not really makes it usable. Why would you make it? I don't know. DG is already Juggernaut in melee, so there is no reason to make them. On top of that, they are slow.
I guess they're right, but just because everything else is so amazing, there is absolutely no need for them. So I'm even thinking C or D tier, just because there is no use for them, usually.
It would feel bad to put them in B tier, because if they are on the field, they are okay. Why, for example, Beorings just fucking die. Good in DG Mirror, that's interesting. Also, it feels bad to put something under the Misty Mountains pikeman. I don't know. I will put them here. I don't know if you can see
that's was fun.
Giant bats, extremely expensive anti-cavalry option that also dies to archers. I don't know, not a fan.
No. In terms of like anti-cav, you can get troll, which is already S tier, so very niche in my opinion.
No, you need that upgrade of lair, which is expensive, takes time. The bats are expensive. I don't know. Is it the tier?
Might be like I don't know. In 1v1 the present of bats force you to make some archers. I guess that's a good.
But
That's a good thing.
every time I'm 1v1 and I already have troll cave, it feels very expensive just to level up the troll cave to level 2 and then get bats. I never feel it's worth it. So I would just put them in the tier, but better than Boring Berserkers.
I think that's fair.
Troll S tier.
Oh god.
Where?
Better than Broken Rubble. Worse than Berserkers or better than Berserkers?
Worse than Berserkers.
Okay.
I don't know. They take 3. They destroy infantry and buildings. I don't know. You cannot catch them. They are pretty tough. They can run to pike and survive. Like everyone knows how monster is absolutely broken in 8.3.1. So let's just leave it here.
Yes.
Sentinels of Karen Amrov. I dislike them. Do you dislike them as well?
Same, because Lorien tier 1 pikes are very good. So usually they won't die because if they. What can they die to? Swordsman? Nah, because your archers will deal with swordsman, right? Or your cav. Enemy archers? No, because as Lorien you probably out archer them, your enemy. So usually your tier 1 pikes don't die, so like those tier 2 are only good in like very late game.
The thing is, your tier 2 pikemen will also die because they are pikemen, because worst type unit in the game. So, and your pikemen need to be cost efficient. They are not. And yeah, as you said, level tier 1 pikemen are already pretty good, so there is no reason to get them. Like, I don't know when last time I met Karen Amrov.
Same.
I don't know. Someone is C tier.
Yes.
Worse than Castellan even. But better than Barding Swordsman, because sometimes you need that extra revenge damage.
I guess.
They have Knight of Karen Amrov syndrome of not having any abilities and are really expensive. Yeah, that's the issue with some of the elite pikemen. Elite pikemen are very similar. Oh my god, Dranzer. Elite pikemen have very similar stats, like every pikeman. I think every elite pikeman does the same damage, but the price tags are vary a lot. Observer. Okay. Coldrake. Dude, the only time I see Coldrake's 1v1 is when Adivasi is playing.
But it's so good. It's so good.
I mean, it's alright.
Level up like crazy. Then you have standard. I don't think can be countered.
It's archers. But, you know.
I mean, the stun in general, like you can't get immunity to that stun, I feel like.
Apparently, it is fear. It says stun, but it's fear. So if you get fear resistance, then you counter the stun.
Okay. Cap.
I know what Coldrake can do. The thing is, we see it so rarely. It's so fucking expensive. That is it really worth it to put it, I don't know, let's say in B tier?
I'm thinking B or C tier, high C tier or low B tier for me.
I would put it low B tier because when it comes out, it does a lot, but it's very expensive. And usually you can probably close the game with that resources instead of going for Coldrake. But the performance, very good, very nice. Dead of Arnor, one of my favorite units, very good, 8 tier. Is it better than Anorian Knights and Battle Wagon? I don't know, better than Battle Wagon for sure.
I guess so. If you are Or are they good because you are already winning and you have that extra money to spend on your tier 2 that you just bought? What
No,
do
I
you
think just they are general good units, like mix of quality between snowworks and goblins. They are very fast, they replenish even in combat, they debuff, they absolutely melt tier 1 units, they are cheap, you know, very good unit.
Okay. Okay.
People don't like them, I like them. Miasterif, not Miasterif, the number of men and arms.
Where was the last time you saw them? That's the question you
When-
have to ask yourself.
When I made them, I don't know, two weeks ago. So the thing is, tier 2 swordsmen that are the battalions of swordsmen that are consisting of 15 individual models feed a lot for some reason, but swordsmen that only consist of 10 individual units feed less, which is already a disadvantage over the normal Minas Tirith swordsmen. On top of that, they are just a bit different version of Minas Tirith swordsmen. They deal extra damage because there are less of them, and they come with heavy armor, although they have less HP. So in the way, they are very similar, they are just fiefdom version of Minas Tirith swordsmen with different ability. I don't know, I would kinda even put him next to the swordsman, but a bit worse.
I don't know. You are not getting that Imrahil leadership, obviously, right? Because he's on the horse.
But you get Forlong and Denethor, if you are getting Denethor.
Yeah, but it's the same as Gondor. I mean, I guess they come from the 3 buildings, so you don't have to level up, for example, in theory, right? Your
that
Gondor
is.
barracks.
Door Wardens, pretty good elite pikemen. The thing is, elite pikemen like to swordsmen, not those ones, because their performance against swordsmen is similar to that of the Westfolders. The thing is, they won't be able to kill the said swordsman that is attacking them because they have pike and not swords, but they will hold as well as Westfolders, almost as well. So I would say somewhere in middle of A tier.
Yeah, I agree. I think they are good.
Yeah, cheap with max discounts. They can switch to swords if needed. Druid of the Oaken Order. They were being played because 15 per tick from 5 trees, which was quite a lot, and now they nerfed it to 10 per tick, and now nobody makes them because, well, it's no longer worth it. So I would say low D tier.
Low D tier.
Yeah. Drama Troll. So it's basically like normal troll, but it gives leadership and it doesn't deal that much damage, although it also has that CC of just slapping people around and having fear. I would say someone in 8 S tier.
Yeah, it's very good. Works well with theme of Mordor to just spam units and then get modifiers.
It's fun.
Another fucking fear you have to deal as you are facing Mordor. Works well with Easterlings.
I would like to point out that one Tramal Troll costs less than the Fear upgrades ability on Great Beast. Okay, we can move on. Dunedain Rangers, I would say somewhere in high A tier, better than the Anorian Knights.
Yes, absolutely crucial for the faction. Amazing pikes, amazing archers, amazing swordsmen, obviously. Expensive, but still very good.
They can die to archers, but they can survive cavalry even on swords. The cavalry needs to tramp them like 3-4 times, which is weird. They have very high crash armor for some reason. So, yeah. Elite archers.
Rivendell, you are getting that Aragorn probably, so a good chance you will be stacking that nice 33% attack damage on your probably most of the time archers, which is very good.
Dunedain Outriders, S tier, A tier?
S tier.
S tier.
Goat, needed as fuck, amazing trample, tanky, amazing damage to buildings, amazing formation.
Yeah, what he said. Let's move on. Done landing Axemen. Because they are done landing, they are already in C tier.
Yes.
Are they in D tier? I don't know. I think they are in C tier. somewhere next to Barding Swordsman, just like Barding Swordsman, there is no reason to make them. Uruk-hai, fighting Uruk-hai are just better. Like, unupgraded Axemen will win with unupgraded Uruk-hai, but then if they are upgraded, then the fighting Uruk-hai will win. And if you consider modifiers, then Uruk-hai can get much more modifiers. On top of that, they are annoying to upgrade because they have different upgrades, so then you have to select Uruk-hai and then you're done landings to upgrade, and it's like, brother, I know, something here. Done landing Huskars, I think the only good done landing unit, but this is the issue. You need done landing Longhouse level 3. Why would you?
At this point, you can get so many cool toys as Aizen, so is there really need to make them?
Yeah, you have Berserkers.
Mm-hmm.
Axemen have AoE though. You know who also has AoE? Berserkers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would like to put them in B, but I don't think we should.
Nah, it's too biased. I think it's C tier, unfortunately, even though they are very good unit.
Hey, yo, a sub. Thank you. Rob, thank you. Dranzer, I put them at the top of C tier. Are you right with that? Are you offended?
Yes. No. I think that's fair. Just because the place in the meta.
I mean, when you make them, they kick ass, but still. Don't make them. Done landing archer, I have a done landing unit, so there is no point of making it. And also, you don't need archers as Isengard. If you want archers, have some scouts. Even worse than barding units, maybe.
I think so, yeah. You're probably not going to benefit from the leadership, even if you go for Ulfgar.
Good you are mentioning that. Ulfgar, with his leadership, is quite unique, because it has extremely big range. So, actually, I think you can catch your archers with your Ulfgar leadership, even if Ulfgar is in melee.
Okay. I don't know that. I don't know why Ulfgar would have that kind of leadership, but okay.
I don't know either, but he has. Danish Outriders, another Danish unit. I think it gets totally outperformed by Work Riders with Sharku and Sharku's heavy armor, so fucking C tier. Where? I don't know.
Better than archers, because at least you can get Wolfgar on the...
A horsey.
Yeah. So better than archers.
The goats! The goats! Eastering archers, your guardian angel against hero spam is Mordor.
I like rushing them so well, just because I go for Variak. So we just upgrade it to level 2 and boom, elite archer, just like this. Man.
Yeah,
so
good elite archers, and then you can upgrade them with those barbed arrows and they absolutely melt everything. And because some evil factions have cheaper upgrades for no reason, you can get Essling archers with barbed arrows for 800, which is as much as unupgraded revended archers, but the Eastern archers will be better, so, you know. Yeah.
Works well with trolls. And Mouth of Sauron.
Yeah. Especially Mouth of Sauron.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like everything works well with Mouth of Sauron.
No, just don't. Trust me, bro.
Eastern Phalanx, slightly better average pikeman?
I guess so. Easier to make. Easier to get them out.
I mean, some are here. Maybe higher.
You don't have to upgrade your Eastern account.
Yeah, I would put them quite high because you can easily get them and you have that industry running, so you can afford some expensive pikemen. And they are slightly better than like Canorians. Yeah. You make them. You know, you make them. They're good. Erebor archers, surprisingly, they have one of the highest DPS of the tier 1 archers.
I like them very much, and I think they are good. I think they add a lot of value to that push of dwarf. Like, if I had to choose between 3 guardians and 1 pike, and 2 guardians, 1 pike and 1 archer, I would probably go with archer.
Did that make sense? You said 2 guardians, 1 pike, and then you said 2 guardians, 1 pike.
So sorry, 1 guardian, 1 pike, 1 archer.
Yeah.
Right? So just swap 1 guardian for 1 archer. I would go for that, probably.
Yeah, so basically you push out of the mine and your archers can cover you against enemy archers. Or at least this is how it should work, but most factions will get cavalry by that time, so it will get difficult. But still, it can work. So very low A tier, I would say. Or is it too high?
That's fine.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fine.
Yeah, lot of damage. Phalanx.
I think that's just your average pikes.
Nah, it's like dwarven version of your average pike. But I will put them, I think, higher than Beyonders, or maybe not. What
I think they win with hobbits, with panders, just by a slight niche.
I don't know.
So yeah, like here.
I mean, they have the best stats of the tier 1 pikemen, but it's because they are dwarves. So I don't know if they win with like any swordsmen, like some trash ones, sure, or warriors maybe, but bounders, I don't know. Guardians, they're like goddamn lepers. You cannot touch them in melee because you will die. I would say somewhere A tier, even better than I don't know, if better than Battle Wagon, maybe better than like, Kingsguard.
They just need to start hitting stuff, and as soon as they start hitting stuff, you're already getting value.
Nah. Yeah, extreme. Like you cannot fight them in melee. You have to trample them or kill with archers or with hero. You know. Rangers. I mean,
one niche and one niche only.
I
killing archers.
I make them if I go Lake Town. They kill few archers, but I don't know. Maybe high C tier, maybe the highest of C tier, maybe even low B tier. I put them higher than Codrake because I make them sometimes. No, because the performance is lower, like low B tier.
Okay.
Fact that's high tier, high C tier. Okay. Spooders, anti-cavalry, that is tier 1. Better than Anorian Knights, but worse than Dundee.
Yes, cause even though they counter Dunedain, I think they just barely wins against Dunedain Cuff on one.
Yeah, but they will still trade efficiently, and on that tier 2 they have fear. Why not? Yeah, so usually you have to get either better cavalry or mounted hero. The only issue with spiders is their fairly bad line of sight. I have no idea their line of sight is so bad. Fountain guards, I would say somewhere in low A tier. You don't see them, but if you see them, they are pretty good. Or am I wrong? Maybe because we don't see them, we should put them somewhere lower.
I don't know. I don't remember the last time I used them. They're very good on paper, that's for sure.
I mean, one of the reasons I like them is because they are heroic pikemen, which means they have revenge damage and they cannot be trampled, but at the same time, because they are heroic, they did heroic damage despite being pikemen, so can even win with swordsmen. Leveled up are the goats. Yeah, put them somewhere in low A tier just because they are not being used often, but I think it's due to meta and games ending. It's like what, 15 minutes?
But in your late game Gondor army, they are necessary because they are just better.
Yeah.
When you look at some factions, you don't make a heroic unit even in late game. Some factions just don't need them. Or they are not that good. Do you need Veterans of Less Alliance?
No.
No, exactly, right? Are they that good? No, they are not. Right?
Yeah. Like, if you were to make upgraded Anorian Spearman or Fountain Guard, you're making Fountain Guard, and I think there's only difference of 300 resources. So, yeah. Some random DG unit, I think that is Spearman. Yeah, that's Spearman.
That's a Spearman.
Okay.
I mean, it's alright.
For some reason, Orc Pikemen and DG Pikemen have no extra range that Pikemen have, and they have generally low damage. They are pikemen, they die. At least they have porcupine. I don't know, I would put them somewhere in C tier, because maybe B tier, because they cost less than Mordor pikemen. No.
Yeah, nothing special about them, just your average pike.
No. That decays, but I don't know how much we should consider that. Kill that guard. I don't know why would anyone. I mean, I have idea why would anyone make it, but if you go early, that means you lose your Sylvan momentum. If you go later, that means you don't have enough cash for your Greenwoods. And usually, the elite cavalry, the Sindar nobles, can do well enough, like trampling and harassing. So why would you get heroic calf? The only reason you get gilded guard because they're heroic calf, and it means they can repel the harassment from mounted heroes, and that's really it. So I would say someone in C tier.
Yeah, I guess so. Because when someone make them, that's mostly because they are already winning and just want to do something different instead of going, normal way.
But I was they have still more uses than like Bardings or Danish. Brother, how do we rate this? It's Goblin Town.
I mean, it's alright.
Like, was level 5 Great Goblin? I think they have 5 more damage than normal Goblin Warriors, so it's 15-20, but they have 50% scaler on heroes for. I don't think there's a reason. Starting more HP.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They have that juicy level 1 scavenger, which is pretty nice. When in big clumps, when you can't focus them.
I don't know. When you place that totem, you make them. So somewhere in the city, maybe lower, somewhere in Castellan. Can number. It's difficult. Better horde bonus. They have better horde bonus.
Bro, okay, Age of the Ring wiki.
No way they have better horde bonus. I think. Do they even get horde bonus? Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. But I think it's like they share the horde with normal goblins and other goblin towners. Do not?
I don't see any information on the wiki.
Yeah, I imagine they share their bonus with goblins. Okay.
Wait, the Goblin Towners also have unique horde bonus, allowing them to gain plus 20 damage and armor for every 2 battalion of warriors up to maximum of 100.
Oh my god.
Fuck is even that? Allowing numbers to. Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, I didn't know.
Of course, someone knows shit like that.
That explains the Great Goblin Summon, why they melt everything.
Holy fuck.
But still, like, if they are not in big clump, then they are not that good. Oh boy, Golden Axemen, quite a decent unit, kinda like Huskars and maybe be like Harbingers, but with lower damage. And for some reason, the ability doesn't autocast. I mean, can it turn it on autocast, but it doesn't proc for no reason. Like the Huskar's Mordhau Grip procs immediately when autocast when in melee, and this thing just doesn't work. Also, you need that useless tier 2, his gathering are useless units to him, you need tier 3 Eastern Garrison. So, somewhere in C tier, fuck, I don't know. Between Danish and Gilded Guard. Ferrari S tier, wrong tier is Grandpa. I mean, we have Morgul Vanguard, I think it is as close as can get to Nazgul. Do you need my expertise?
Do you want to join stream? I can drag you in, Matty.
Yeah, Matty, if you want, hop in. Great Beast, D tier, next.
Yeah, this is just... I think some stuff don't really need explanation.
Even 15 minutes? Okay, so let us know if you want to hop in. Greenwood Archers. They have the second highest damage from elite 11 archers, but there was range. Also, they get discounted, which makes them the cheapest ones, and they have ability on level 2, which I think makes them one of the, maybe even the best elite 11 archer. What do you think? Someone A tier.
I guess so. They have amazing leadership from Legolas with range and damage. 25% vision range. So even if the range is,
Wait,
smaller.
It gives them range. I thought it's vision and damage and terror.
Vision range. Oh, sorry, it's vision range. Okay,
Yeah,
I can't read damage. I mean, it's still very good.
Yeah, very good. We move on.
Mm-hmm.
Slayers, interesting unit, because they can get very cheap, 480 with mass discount. They have almost same durability as Greenwood Swordsman, and Greenwood Swordsman have almost the same durability as Noldor Swordsman, which gets very interesting. They have, I think, 50 damage, same as Clansmen, but they have ridiculous splash, and they have Scalar against tier 1 units. They are pretty busted, but I think because of the Sylvans, nobody makes them. I would say they are hidden chats, and I would place them summon A tier.
I also like the idea of the first unit that opens the elite rooster is the one that deals with spam.
Yeah.
So
it's
on
cool.
paper, yeah, it helps you deal with spam units in order to get your elites out. In theory, obviously.
In theory, yes.
I think they are, next to Axeman, the type of anti-spam unit that gets value, usually. Because Grimhammers don't get you value, usually.
Formation really good as well.
Yes.
If you are in melee only, then yes, but if you're being shot at or trampled, then... I think that formation makes them attack units before the unit attacks them, because they have such a high attack speed, but I may be wrong. Yeah, passive. Sure. Yeah, ghosted unit that's not being used, unfortunately. Grey Company, S tier, better than Berserkers. Let's move on.
Ah, yes.
No, I mean, we can talk. They debuff units, they buff units, they buff heroes, they melt heroes, they are archers with passive revenge damage, and they have pikes, which allows them to, for some reason, one-shot tier 2 swordsman. Yeah, that's it. If they die, it's because of either archer spam or they are getting stuck. That's it.
They are that cornerstone that helps Rivendell mid-game to stand up.
Nah, exactly. Rivendell can really suffer in mid-game, and Grey Company really allows them to shine. Although they are so fucking good that sometimes Rivendell can just end game with Grey Company. Grimhammers, they come too late to the field to deal with spam, unfortunately, and because they come too late, they cannot... They are not getting value because they are too late, and they shouldn't be placed high on the tier list, and then you cannot counter-attack with them because they deal low damage to buildings. City, I don't know.
I guess. For me, the timing wasn't that much of an issue. I think I usually, even if team games on smaller maps, if I made normal opening, my enemy would get hammers, grim hammers pretty fast. But then what, right? Then you have to wait for pikes and for probably guardians to do some serious attacks.
I tried to do Grimhammer Rush when the bird tier 1 changes were introduced, but sure, you can make them, you can defend yourself, but there is no way in the world that you are easily counter-attacking your opponent. Yeah. Gundabad Berserkers, is it D tier? I don't think so.
Oh, how mighty have they fallen. They used to be so fun to build, just so good.
So they are hybrid units, which means they are losing to specialized like swordsmen. With cavalry they are doing just fine because they have high revenge damage anyway. For some reason they are extremely expensive. They take a lot of CP, I mean CP is alright. And then they don't get many modifiers. They, I think, only get armor from bulk, but you don't make bulk because he's trash. So I don't know. It's like very low C, maybe even the lowest C. I think you make them only because make it easier for you not to make swordsman and pikeman at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
No, is it fine?
I guess so. Sad, but fine.
Halafirians, holy moly! First of all, draft tower. Secondly, do you want to send something? Anything about them?
I want to mention the draft tower, because without draft tower, if you take Rohan without draft tower, they are good and nothing else. They are just decent, okay? They feel like the things that you need to get rather that you should get, right? But because of draft tower, the access to at least decent but tier 2 archers is so good.
I didn't compare them with any other tier 2 archers, but I did compare them with Rohirrim archers. And if you assume they have exactly the same attack speed, I don't think if that is the case, but I think it should be similar attack speed. It means that Halafirians did only 11% less more damage than elite Rohirrim horse archers. There is not much of the difference if Rohirrim archers are without upgrades. And then Halafirians get absolutely amazing ability at level 2 to deal with heroes and monsters, and then at level 3 they get volley. They are fucking great, and they come from draft tower.
I think this might be a S tier just because of draft towers.
Okay, you won my heart with the draft tower. Harbingers S tier, but where?
That's a good question.
Better than Easterlings? Worse than Bounders? Maybe better than Bounders. Worse than Broken Rumble.
Yeah, I was thinking like next to the Broken Rumble.
DG next to DG. So I don't know if they're being called semi-heroic. I don't think it matters. But it's almost like semi-heroic units in terms of stats. They deal a lot of damage. They are specialized in dealing with heroes because they can debuff hero. They suffer very little damage from heroes. I mean, they suffer some damage from heroes, less than other units. And then they have very high crash armor for no reason. Also, they don't decay. So yeah, deep rot, S tier.
Deep Rot, on like personal note, is one of my favorite ability in the game. If they change it some way, the mechanic of this ability, man, I'll be so sad. I love it. I love the level 3.
Is someone writing to me on Discord or to you, or is it server?
That's server.
Okay. Harondor Archers, I mean, they're pretty good, especially considering they are getting formation straight at level 1. Better than Anorians, maybe even low A tier. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I don't get much value from them, but maybe my timing is always wrong with them. I feel like usually, but that's just maybe my preference. Blow darts from Mahud Gathering.
Oh yeah.
Just do that job. That you don't need them. You are not probably getting Suladan leadership. It's hard to get them the Ziraul leadership because he's in melee, so I don't think he will catch the range. You have to wait a lot for that level 3 fire arrow upgrade. That's also something to consider.
Yeah, that's the issue with Caravan, unfortunately. But luckily they can do a lot of damage without upgrades, so... Harondor Outriders, cavalry that is universally considered to be one of the worst cavalry units in the mod. And for a good reason, they die like flies. They are expensive considering their performance. Sure, they can trample a little bit, but like they are unnecessary evil if you are playing Harad.
Yes.
You can be swarmed by bounders if you are playing Harad, then you need cavalry, and then you are getting that cavalry which isn't that good. It doesn't feel well good.
Harad, Because of how bad they perform, Harat is one of those factions that you can. It's like Erebor, right? They don't, they will probably not have early cavalry, so you cannot make pikes early on, and that gives you a huge advantage when harassing.
Should I put them lower, higher? I mean, Amruf Amidiron at least doesn't die. I mean, he dies sometimes.
Yeah, no, I think lower.
Somewhere here, maybe.
I guess, yeah.
100 pikeman. Your
Just your average.
average pikeman next to another. I don't know, patterns. You are getting Suladan, but you are not getting Boromir. I mean, sometimes you are getting Boromir, so maybe higher than another.
But you don't get Suladan off horse.
To
give them leadership.
I am dismounted Suladan enjoyer.
Oh my god, this guy. Okay, sure. But I think I would prefer Anorian, but that's okay. Because it's easier to stack leadership on them. Because you get Denethor, right?
If you are getting Denethor, okay.
But Denethor is so good, what do you mean?
He is slow, he cannot deal with enemy heroes. His guards don't respawn.
In team games he's decent because of that blob you can make with Gondor. Sometimes. At least that's my experience.
Okay. I put them lower.
Okay.
Thank you. Elmingos!
I mean, it's alright.
But still, I don't see a point. You already have excellent cavalry, can destroy buildings with mounted heroes. On your heroes you have active abilities with fear resistance. Maybe if you are playing against Erebor, to be immune to Thunder Collapse. That's it.
Yeah.
Not a fun.
I don't know. No.
Somewhere
it's fun. It's fun unit and single player versus computer, then for sure. But like PvP.
I put them higher than the Danish and the Bardings.
Yeah. At least you get that level 1 archer. That level 1 archer immunity is somewhat decent in team games. Because in team games, it's more likely you will see a big blob of archers.
Very strong abilities, but have to level up. Yes, that's the issue. I mean, if you get them, they are pretty good. But if there's really reason to get them, that's the issue.
There are most cost-efficient ways of getting cap value.
Borg's bodyguard. Performance is pretty bad, but just by being there, they can debuff heroes and heroic units, which is pretty huge. So I don't know, somewhere in low B tier?
I think they are decent. They are not that expensive, it's only 1,300.
300 or 1,500? I mean, it doesn't matter that much.
No other requirements. Debuff heroes. Hard to deal, I guess, as Erebor, as Aizen with them. Because of that splash early on.
For debuffing the most important units in the game, that is heroes, I can rate them quite high. Somewhere. Yeah, 300, okay. Horsemen of the Mark draft tower exists, D tier.
Unfortunately, because on beside the draft tower, they are a very good tier 1 cav. Get 3 battalions of them and you're Gucci. You will get those farms killed very easily.
Hey man, we can make tier list in 9.0 without, and draft tower maybe will be fixed.
I'll be not there, but my kid will be there, don't worry.
Iron Hind Crossbowman, very high damage, range that of the tier 1 archer. Ignore armor at level 2, which is huge. I would say someone in B tier. Maybe to B tier, A tier, what do you think?
If B tier, higher B tier, you know?
Very high B tier.
there is a point of making them, I feel like, as Erebor, they can kill Grond. Yeah, that level already is so good. They don't need leadership, they don't need anything else.
Yeah, the problem is you need level 3 assembly. I think as Iron Foot you are not getting that assembly early on. Maybe a Soaken Shield, sure. I think that is the main issue, level 3 assembly. But they are very good unit. Very good unit.
Yeah, I think B tier is fair.
Iron here Warriors. Same issue. If you are Iron Foot, you are probably taking up with Redout, and when you are Okenshin, then you're probably taking up with assembly. Hybrid unit, which means they are not as good as dealing with specialized swordsmen, but they come with debuff that works against units and heroes, which is pretty good. And because they are dwarves, they get shit tons of modifiers. And I think the pricing is fair. I don't know, 7 B tier next to why make them when you have Vault Wardens? So I can make units that can deal with everything. Dranzer, I need your help. I have issues.
I'm thinking about the Vault Warders discussion argument. I think they are good, you just need to know when to make them. But what is your late game Erebor army looking like? Uzbadul and those guys, right?
Yes, if I can assembly an army of elite Erebor late game, then it's Uzbadul, Iron Hills, and well, that's it. Maybe one Vault Warden for that passive buff and debuff.
I think B tier is, yeah, I think this placement is fine.
War Riders, Glass Cannoni, quite fast with hull, and Sharku buffs them a lot. I would say maybe even better than Spooders, although they need Sharku. Better than Orient Knights.
Yes, they need Sharku, better than Orient Knights.
Because they need Sharku lower than Orient Knights, okay.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Like, as much I love them, as much as I love making them with Sharku, I think Orient Knights are more flexible.
They don't die like bitches when they have Faramir next to when they don't have Faramir next to them. Supper. It's not siege units, it's actually anti-unit. Anti-unit. That makes sense. Anyway, D tier.
Anyway, D tier. Yes, D tier.
If you ranges, it could be the best elite archer in the game, if you consider upgrades and Faramir leadership.
How the leadership is so good.
It's so good.
The range leadership.
The bot kids so good. And better Easter eggs. Is it fine?
Higher than Bounders, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Sure. Easterlings, cataphracts, or golden cataphracts. Yeah, D tier. I don't know.
Even if they weren't blocked behind tier 2, I still think it would be a D tier.
Yeah, I think the same. As long as Nazgul are so goddamn broken. Yeah, because you have much better cavalry in form of Nazgul, so you don't need cavalry, and even if you needed that cavalry, then its cavalry is locked behind pretty bad tier 2, so yeah, D tier.
And that tier 2 is already a chaos, so not a lot makes sense here, PvP wise.
Uzbadul. Semi-heroic unit that is better than most of the heroic units, although it's usually how it works. Somewhere less tier.
Yes, if they die, that's your fucking skill issue.
Yeah, usually when Dwarven army survives, the heroes and Uzbadul are the one that's surviving. Better than Eastern Archer? Better than Mounders? Maybe worse than Eastern Archers, because like those dwarves, even basic dwarves, like let's say Dane leadership, are already doing a lot. So those Uzbadul is just extra, and usually you want East rank archers and Ithilien rangers, right?
Yes.
Kingsguard. Draft tower exists, but you can actually get stables to get better units, you know. You are not getting Horsemen of the Mark because they are worse units than Rohirrim from draft towers, but Kingsguard are better. Although still, yes. I don't think there is reason to make stables to get Kingsguard. You can do a lot with 2 battalions of Rohirrims and Eomer.
Although I feel like there is a point in team game and 1v1s when you should make that stable, and you should upgrade it immediately to level 3, and you should get that Kingsguard. I feel like. But that's
very late.
That's like, yes, that is late.
Best of the C tier. What do you think?
I guess, but subtract draft tower, fucking A tier or S tier.
Yeah.
They don't die. They just don't die. They have bows, and actually, compared to I think 2.02 or maybe things changed there. But I used to remember that Rohirrims in 2.02 had awful range damage. But maybe that was even vanilla, like vanilla that I used to play. But those guys have very good ones, so they can kill even those spikes and then trample. Amazing stuff.
Lake Town Bowmen. Interesting enough, those were 350 in the past, and they got cost decreased by 25. Which means they are 325, which makes them more expensive than Erebor Archers, but they have lower DPS than Erebor Archers. Something does not add up. Is it because of the Master of the Lake Town extra leadership? I don't know. I'm not a fan.
They have Fort Board.
But you need what? I think 4 battalions.
Yeah. I guess amazing if you just spam the living shit out of pikes and archers as Erebor, but is it fun to do that as Erebor?
No. I don't know, next to Anorian archers maybe better, or maybe worse.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe in team game, but the Master of the Lake Town with Horde in 1v1 doesn't buy me. I don't know, I would prefer Anorian. I don't know, let's leave it. Guards of the Master. So they have same stats as Barding Swordsmen, but they require level 2 assembly. And they cost 100 more, so they cost 500 compared to 400, but they have same stats and you need level 2 assembly. The only saving grace is that they have better ability at already level 2, while Bardings have that ability at level 3. Next to Barding Swordsman, Bad Wars? Question mark?
Definitely worse. I don't know when you need like a buffy tier 2 swordsman as Erebor when you have Guardians. I don't see the reason.
There is no way I'm getting Lake Guards of the Master with Banner just to use that ability to debuff enemy army. No way. No way I will bother with that. Maybe it's killish. I don't know. Lake Town Pikemen was the best pikemen in the game in my opinion. So the main point of pikemen is to be cost efficient and like to hold the line for it, right? The only point of pikemen is to cover your other units that do the rest of the job from cavalry. And because they cost 250, while they have the same durability as Warrior and pikemen that cost 300, and they are spammable as hell, I would put them somewhere in A tier. Maybe the next to Guardians?
It's a good combo with Guardians, by the way.
Yeah, that's a very good thing. That's all Nosy meta. Nosy was good. Clansmen, the goats! The goats.
Oh, the only hope of Gondor early game.
Dude, it's really the only hope of Gondor. It's Gondor workhorse. It's bread and butter, meat and potatoes.
It's all about if you get value from clansmen and cav. That's it, I think, for Gondor early on.
Yeah, that's it. But you know, it's very simple faction. There is not much more about it. So they need to have that unit that can be that workhorse, you know. So they win with every tier 1 swordsman except Guardians, if I'm not wrong. And by tier 1, I don't mean like tier 1.5 units like Snowworks, for example. I'll put them better than Ithilien Rangers, higher than Bounders, but worse than Harbingers. Or maybe better than Harbingers, what do you think? Too high?
I think too high.
Then when? Where?
Maybe Bounders. Are they still? I guess they are.
Yes, they are king, yes.
Next to Bounders. Even
Yeah.
better on Wars. Doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, exactly. Linhir Pikeman. Your average Pikeman, that is kind of pricey side of things. I don't know, it's like Brillander. It is. It's like Brillander, but they get the armor later. Or is it level 3? No, I think it's level 3. Or is it level 4?
I think it's later than.
Yeah, I think it's level 4.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, for that reason I put them lower and they don't get leadership.
And even if they get that cow, like if they get that armor, I'm sorry. Let's not pretend like it's, oh my god, it's so amazing.
Yeah, exactly, it
It's-
won't change
it's
that much.
armor on your pikes.
It's already armor on your pikes that will die anyway.
Mhm.
I mean higher than normal because I think those have the highest revenge damage possible for the tier 1 pikemen, so it's not necessary for you to go that tier 2 Anorian pikemen, so they are better. Yeah, level 4, it's only 20%, yeah, exactly, level 4. Lorien archers, pretty good god archers. Although there are problems with Lorien, but you know, the unit itself is quite fucking good.
Amazing. I think, not counting anything else that's happening in that faction nowadays, I think it's fair to put them in A tier or S tier.
S tier even. I'm putting them 8 tier higher than that of Arnor, but lower than all the cavalry units.
I guess that's fair. They can get that level 6 leadership from Rumiel early on as well. 15 attack range, don't mind if I do. Attack range on archers is so good. It's
Yeah,
everything, man.
the best. And I think at Haldir, why not, you know. They can sit under Malor with lanterns. Although, at least in theory, you know, Lorien.
Yes.
Lorien sucks. Lorien Pike for 300. Pikemen generally die to anything that is not cavalry, but they are fairly tanky considering because of they are pricey and they have porcupine formation. So they are alright, but definitely not deserving A tier. Or is it?
Maybe low A tier. They are part of the best pike and shot early on, and that pike and shot is frankly the only thing that Lorien can
do, yeah.
bet on with high percentage of working.
I don't know, maybe the highest B tier.
Mm-hmm.
No, higher than Fountain Guard. Yeah, somewhere over here. Bring me, coach, I'm ready.
Join random VC Matty and I will drag because this is okay.
Hello.
Because this one is limited.
Hello.
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 Oh, let me turn this.
How are you doing, Matty?
I am grand. Let me open this stream and catch up.
Uh,
Oh, this crazy music.
I'm sharing the screen on Discord, so you can
Yeah.
do it with real time. So we finished Lorien Pikeman. Now the Axeman of
I've
Losarna.
done loads.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, go.
Are you doing this as in like a standalone unit, or are you doing it like how valuable it is to its faction and
How valuable
like
it
the
is to
buffs and the
faction?
debuffs, all that kind of
Both.
stuff?
Yeah.
Both.
So
They are
like-
not in vacuum. We are doing it considering other factions.
Cool. So like the Sylvan archers, you're considering with Tauriel and stuff like that.
Yeah, so for example, Broken Robbers get shit tons of modifiers, Halathirians, Draft Tower, I don't know, Ithilians, Botkins plus Faramir.
Cool. Sounds good. How long has this been going on for?
I don't know.
Like 2 hours?
I don't know.
Flipping it. Right.
Axeman
Okay.
Wasarnach, absolute chats, and one of the reason you are not getting Anorian Swordsman. S tier, where? How high? How low?
I think it's better. They might be better than Cloudman.
Mhm. In the sense they are very similar, but they simply have higher damage and they have splash, which means they can do much more damage. Although their tankiness is very similar. The thing is, are you getting them that often? Is it always beneficial for you to get them? I think most of the time it is, but sometimes it is not.
They are 450 for Swordsman, so...
Yeah. If you want some unit to do the dying, let it be Clansman, because the durability is the same. But I think considering how much damage the Axemen can dish out, then sure. With Forlong they reach level 4 in no time. Like, Splash is one of the best attributes the unit can get because of how the pathfinding in the Age of the Ring and Beef Me works. Plus extra damage to burning, but that's extra. Anything else? Matty, do you want to say anything? Do you have any experience with Axemen of Lossarnach?
I do not use them enough, but I've started using them in the last week, so my knowledge is very knowledgeable, but I've been beaten by them loads of times.
Okay.
So I think they should be an S tier. I will go with you lot.
Okay. Man-Eaters, absolutely useless unit.
Oh my god, they died like 2 battalions of tier 1 archers, man.
So it's extremely expensive to upgrade Uruk Pit to level 3 and you only get, you get recruitment time and you get those boys. They die to anything, they are heroic so they don't benefit from any buffs and debuffs except of the Saruman 100% XP and elemental armor. How shit is that Uruk Hai? Yes, King. The only saving grace is that knockback, but I think it's not worth it to make them just for that knockback, you know. And that is it, really.
I just like the look of this next one.
Elite touch.
Nom 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 nom.
Hybrid. So the thing is, they have the second best range of elite archers after the Elven archers, and the third DPS, the elite Elven archers, which makes them overall they are not that excellent of the archer and not that excellent at the melee. They trade really bad with like specialized melee units. And overall, I grow to dislike them maybe not dislike, but I'm very neutral towards them in this patch, especially delayfix.
What are the 2 higher DPS ones?
Elven Archers, the best is
The
Rivendell,
WR one?
and the second one is Greenwood.
They feel tanky though with armor on. These ones.
Yeah, because they get heavy armor.
And they just... yeah. So I feel like they make them much better because of that.
Matty, trust me, the blob of upgraded Galathrims is one of the most scariest thing in Age of the Ring, but is it possible for even to reach that stage? Of course, we are judging by
It is
the
when
unit.
I'm playing.
Yeah. Of course, we don't
True.
consider that Lorien is absolutely abysmal. We consider the units, but I don't think they do that well. What I'm trying to say.
What are you thinking then? A, low A.
Yeah, low A, maybe B.
What I want to add is that by the time you have them, I'm pretty sure you already have at least leadership from Rumil. So they already have 15 more attack range.
Yeah, true.
So
Maybe Haldir leadership,
Galathrims are probably, compared to other elite archers from Elvish faction, the easiest to get leadership on. Because Rumil and Haldir, you would get them, and you probably will get at level 6 on Rumil and level 6 on Haldir, probably, before
True.
you make them.
True, you are
They
not getting
also-
airdrop for your Riven archers, that's for sure.
They also melt buildings.
Yeah,
Like,
upgrade.
They're super good in yeah.
Because
So
they
I
deal
can't-
magic.
I would put them low S or high A
And last S
because of the hybrid.
in last of our tier list, we put them, I think, the highest of A, but I don't know. I'll put them somewhere in the middle. Maybe better than normal archers. I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
Dranzer, am I right or am I right?
I guess so. It's just not their time currently. I
Yeah.
feel like just because of the faction that performs really bad.
Faction
so kind of-
sucks. Plus, delayfix, calf meta. They are hybrid. They are not cost efficient in melee. Yeah.
Also, yeah, to that point, like I love them, but I think the game is kind of either won or lost before the point that you use them. Do you know what I mean? You're either like far ahead, so then you get them, or you're too far behind that you can't get off tier ones, so they're not that useful.
Yes. In Age of the Ring, games usually last 15 minutes. Or even shorter.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
What?
That's a very good point about how games ends actually. Yes.
Yeah, and this is how the meta goes in Age of the Ring right now. It's no tech up meta, you spam with your tier 1 and you get heroes. And you are
Love
getting value from your cover. Greenwood Swordsman, goddamn, one of my favorite units in the game. So, how about a unit that is very similar to Noldor Swordsman, but they are much cheaper? Huh? How about that?
The Grim special is gonna give Swordman nightmares.
Oh my god.
He started these units the other day. I don't use them enough, so no comment for me.
They feel very natural as you transition from Sylvans to Greenwood. I think that's even though they are costly.
No, not with discounts.
Mm-hmm.
560, little bit more than the Anorians, but they have much better stats. Their only issue, quote unquote issue, is that they don't get heavy armor, but because they don't get heavy armor, they already come with extremely good heavy armor, with extremely good armor. Also, because they don't have that quasi heavy armor, then suffer less from heroes, which is very important. If unit can tank a hero for quite a long time, that's a good unit. Also, tier 2 ability that gives armor to everyone around, except heroes, obviously. Yeah, very good.
That also is one of my favorite abilities in the game, by the way.
I know. Because
Didn't know it
take
existed, but great.
Yeah, should. Sylvan Archers with
S
Tauriel,
tier.
extremely deadly.
Absolute S tier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cheap, fast, high damage with Tauriel, long range. I mean, I know they get. It's funny because they have lower damage than Lorien Archers because they have 2 model less in the battalion, 10 compared to 12, but the range is the same.
It's actually really tough because you can. I'm fairly sure you can win quite a lot of Woodland Realm games with just doing the pikes and swords and just Russian farms.
Nah,
so like
this is how
you
it
can get
works.
away with not using them, but they are just so good. I would put them
S tier, I know.
S tier.
We put them
Yes.
S tier as well, but
Mm.
it's
I still think it's S tier.
well,
I overuse them for sure.
we know.
Low S tier for sure.
Yeah, I
Tauriel
think low S tier. I
20.
think low S.
25 attack range, so easy to deposition them, right? Because they are fast.
Yeah,
So
very
just
very forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say your average pikeman, but with a twist. You see, elite pikemen have very similar stats. What's the only thing that makes them different is the price tag. But those pikemen, first of all, get discount. Second of all, get pretty useful ability on level 2 that buffs your either faction leader or Legolas, which is extremely good. I'm putting them in A tier. And next to... I don't know where to... better than the Slayers. Yeah, let's put them next to another Gnome unit. I mean, they're not necessarily better, they're like different, but yeah. You are getting them, while Slayers, you are not getting them necessarily because you're getting Green Wood Warriors. You wanna say anything, guys?
No, I don't have much experience. I don't have much photo.
They're the Woodland Realm ones, right?
Yeah, but that's good.
Yeah. I think the basic pikes are good enough for 80% of the game. It's normally won by then.
Yeah, it is one.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so I don't really use them much, but yeah.
I have no mercy for them, D tier.
Yeah, same.
Are these the
Absolutely
Goblin
not-
ones?
Yes,
The
Misty
Misty
Mountains
Mountain
Wolf
ones?
Riders.
Yeah, they're not great. My issue with them is they're not good at trample and they're not good at damaging eco. So it's like, I think pick one or the other a little bit. I think they need a slight buff to damaging eco, but it's hard because then they can become very OP in number. So it's really tough to balance them, I think.
No good at harass, not good at trampling, slow compared to other cavalry. I don't know why, maybe because of Confeeble gives movement speed. And Wet Wolf exists, which are just simply better, so yeah, D tier. Also, probably if you are going fully Snow Orcs, you are not getting Wolfcairn, but you are waiting for that tier too, so.
Agreed.
Morgul Legion.
Oh dear.
Very
Didn't know they existed until Dranzer wrecked us.
Oh my god. Extremely good swordsman. Tough, lot of modifiers can be stuck on it. Damage is okay, but it has debuff. I don't know. Somewhere in A tier, boys?
Have you done Black Orcs yet?
Yeah, they are in the
Or
B
whatever they're
tier.
called.
Yeah, Black
Yeah.
Uruks.
I see them more than these ones. That's my only comment.
I really make.
Like, why aren't more
Morgul.
people making them?
I'm really making Morgul Legion. I'm more often making Black Uruks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't feel like those Morgul ones get. They like Mordor doesn't need them. I don't think.
Yeah,
be
Morgul. Yeah,
successful.
doesn't need them. Exactly.
Yeah.
But overall, very good unit. Output them somewhere in A tier. But not necessarily. Like the unit you don't. It's not the unit you need. Yeah, say it like this. Between Slayer and maybe this Palace Guard. Or is it weird to put it here, Dranzer?
No, I think that's fair because you can't really make a lot of them because they come out of fortress, so you only have one building to build them. And if you're making them, then you are not making any upgrades on Mordor. And usually you need some upgrades on Mordor fortress. You can make extra builders, you can make heroes. So
You can make 2 Black Uruks for the price of 1 Morgul Orc. Is it 800 or 700? I think it's 800. It's pricey as hell because they have heavy armor.
I'd put them B tier, but you boys know more than I do. Like, I don't think they're I don't think they're used. I think they're just like a luxury. I suppose it depends how you're judging it.
750. Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
a lot.
Because their performance are quite well, I will put them in A tier. And they usually come with
Cool.
Gothmog because you have that upgrade on Fort, so you're getting Gothmog. Oh my god, Morgul Vanguard. I think we put them in D tier last time, but I used them quite a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I used them quite a lot. And considering the Mordor have severe issue with hero management and they don't get anything except archers, Morgul Vanguard is your second best because they are specialized heroic cavalry that is the heroic cavalry that is specialized in killing heroes. Thing is,
I like them.
first you have to kill army to isolate enemy heroes to kill those heroes. But when they get to those heroes are most likely dead. They are pretty good, but they are difficult to get. And if you screw yourself over, if you run them into pikes, then you have to get new ones basically because you don't have wells, you don't have anything, and they replenish extremely slowly for some reason, which apparently is quote unquote bug. So no.
Do they have an active debuff on them? Or am I imagining stuff?
Yeah, later they have active debuff, which means you can have like free active debuff, Nazgul, Witch King, Morgul Vanguard. Yeah.
Yeah. I like them.
I like them as well. Might be even A tier. Though they are very rare to make. Dranzer, can you help us?
I rarely make them. I have no insight on them, unfortunately.
I'd say high B or low A.
No way. Maybe higher than.
Also depends what you're doing. Like in 4v4s, they're crazy good. 3v3, they're good. And probably less good as you go down, I imagine. But
I don't know. They've been solving many of my issues when I've been playing Mordor recently, so. Goblin, Moria, or Catchers. I'm tempted to put them in D tier.
Same.
Maybe even highest of D tier. So they're kinda like Moria, the Mordor Orcs, but more expensive. And for some reason they have weird targeting. They don't tend to shoot for some reason, especially with their ability. It's weird.
I think if they got a slight buff to their poison damage against trolls and stuff, they'd be more useful.
Yeah,
I'm
that's...
hoping that's the change that's coming.
The poison ability is so weird, because it's supposed to be anti-monster ability, but it deals like, what, maybe 20% of the troll HP?
Yeah, I think it needs more.
Straight to D tier, hell yes, oh man. Yeah. Just adjust poison, make them cheaper, and it's fine.
Yes, agree.
You have to break them with the pikes, and you are not going to break them with pikes, very expensive pikes, and all life to protect your screechers. Yeah, issues with Misty Mountains. Okay. Speaking of screechers, they are pretty fucking good. I mean, maybe not they are pretty fucking good, but they're good. They're good. Yeah. I think they allow Misty Mountains to survive early game because the mountain orcs are so inefficient.
They're 100, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
100.
Yes, okay. Because BFME, they're like 75, 80, and then 202. You've been changing them around, so I was getting confused.
High B, low A?
High B.
Yeah,
They
high.
allow you with enough pressure to overwhelm your enemy without getting extra units, and then you suddenly, because it only costs 100, you can get a lot of. You can rush easily. I don't know, either heroes or better units to make a difference.
Yeah, you buy yourself time, don't you?
Maybe you want lag, and then go Thimble, and then you can deal with harass, and then you can kill heroes with Fellwind and lag, and that can win you a game.
I will change a screen and open my spreadsheet to make sure. I'm pretty sure the Goblins Archers have same stats as Mordor Orcs. Yeah, 20, 300. 20, 320, 70.
Did you make this?
Yeah, I make the spreadsheet myself. Wait, they have different. Wait, they have better stats? No way. Yeah, apparently the Moria Orc Archers have higher damage, although the range and hit chance... Yeah, they have lower range, but more damage, interestingly enough. Okay, let's go back. That explains why they have such an issue with targeting. What is it called? Mountain Orc. It's basic... Mountain Orc? Mountain Troll. It's basically the better version of Cave Troll because A, it's got ability to inner orc to heal itself. B, it's cheaper. C, it has better armor against pikemen. Great balancing.
What level do they auto heal?
Level 3 monsters auto heal level 3.
See, I think the mortal ones should be level 3 and the misty ones level 2.
That
because
would be
they
fine.
can't eat orcs.
Yeah.
They've got to have some difference between them. But
Mhm.
yeah, right now the model ones just get everything.
Nando Hifatul? Nandor. D tier.
But what are these? Are they the Loth specialist things?
They are heroic units of Lorien. There is no point of
Okay, yeah,
making them.
never made them.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Because why would you?
Ah.
They're not that good. I mean, against units without modifiers, they can do okay because they're heroic units. But when the modifiers come in, they get absolutely wrecked. Also, the Lorien can get quite a lot of modifiers, so there's no point. The only cool thing about it is that I think level 8 ability that gives free upgrades, but it's level 8. No way you're getting that. Okay. If someone doesn't recognize that portrait, it's because it's the old portrait of Riders of the Knife before Lorien's rework. Last time we placed Riders of the Knife quite high, but I think in A tier, but I think it's B tier. Dranzer, what do you think?
I might be biased because I like them and usually get value from them because no one expects them.
Mm.
And I'm very big fan of Cav that can heal between trample when they reach level 2.
It is a pain to get them, especially as Lorien, especially as faction that sucks. But if you get them, they are right, and they heal, as you said, at level 2. If you have 2 or 3 of them, then maybe you should consider swapping them to bow and annihilate any pike that come close to them.
Yeah, and then you can stack upon the archers and pikes, and then you have amazing fire power. You can kill only those pikes and then trample the rest, while your archers still shoot and your pikes still, cover your archers. Isn't that astonishing?
Olok
What is
High.
that?
What? This is a troll. Olok High.
Oh, okay.
Fruit.
Oh, the strong one. The strong
Yeah,
one.
strong one.
Mhm.
The strong one is pretty strong one. Pretty cheap considering performance. And I think it's somewhere in S tier. What do you boys think?
If it was free for all, then it would be the top of S tier.
Yeah.
Those things are just mental.
It's maybe very low S tier. If you get it, you get extra. You get your money back.
I mean, two
Definitely.
can kill a fort, can't they?
Hmm?
I think 2 of them can kill a fort, can't they?
Probably. 2
Then,
normal trolls can kill a fort. No. 2 normal trolls with orc warrior if they eat orcs, or 3 without orcs. So imagine why orc high is enough. Anyway, you at least get your money back, but usually they do much more damage than you'd think they would do. The only issue is that level 3 Trorkage, but I would say they're amazing.
Yeah.
Orc archers. How many modifiers you can stack on that basic
I know.
archer? Yes, King.
I said that
That's why they're so good.
so many times before, but orc archers are my favorite summon strat.
And the thing is, with orc warriors, with orc spam, it's very difficult to be aggressive. So you need something to do the killing. And usually, if it's not troll, if it's not variak, if it's not black uruk, if it's not nazgul, then the orc archer will do the killing. I would say, considering the modifiers, they are pretty good. Maybe somewhere in low A tier. What do you guys think?
They're great.
Straight to S tier? I don't know, man.
They're made better because you can get cheap pikes from the same barracks. So like we don't have this in 202. So then they're good, but there's always the risk of cav. But when you can get one pike in between a bunch of these archers, it makes the archers so much better and more viable. So I think, I definitely think they're A tier.
It's interesting that you consider those spikes cheap, 225.
Well, cheaper than buying the
Easterlings.
what's the other one, and building that because you can get it from the same building. It's like, it's
Cray.
mad to me.
Crime with not S tier. Okay, someone. Okay, buddy. They stay in A tier.
S tier. A's fine, I think.
They are harder to trample because there's 20 of them in the battalion.
I know. Maybe that's what maybe Misty Mountain archers should be.
I
Just
still
more of them.
No, they are 2020.
Really?
Yeah,
The Morio ones look so much less.
because they are smaller.
Could be. What is this?
Orc Warrior. Jesus Christ, they're extremely good unit for tanking swordsmen. For some reason, they have
And they're only 80 cost as well.
Yeah.
So they're great.
they tank swordsmen amazingly. They're great at being spammed because they cost 80. But I don't think they can do that much on their own. They can be shut down by cavalry and archers. So I would safely put them in low A tier or high B tier, or maybe the highest of B tier. Or Dranzer, am I committing crime by putting them on in B tier?
Definitely not higher. Like B tier is the maximum, absolute maximum. The same characteristic as orc archers, as orc goblins. I'm sorry, is the fact that you can spam them and then get better stuff, right? Without losing a lot.
Yeah.
I think they are alright. I think they are B tier.
Yeah, they're right.
Exactly B tier, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's good. You don't get them to think I'm going to cause loads of damage. It's like you buy time. If they get a couple of farms, you've done well. So then it's like, yeah, B's probably good.
Orc Hunters, which is the stats wise, that is actually similar. Sorry, as a modern Orc Archer, but they can be cheaper and they decay. I don't think we should consider decaying. They can be turned into Risen Dead. I don't know, like your average archer, someone in B tier.
Yeah, nothing special.
Better than Blackroot. I think you are going to make some Orc Hunters, but not necessarily Blackroot archers. Orc Pikemen. So they are cheap, but they are not necessarily efficient, as they basically die to anything. They cannot kill anything. They have problem with even killing farms unless they have Red Eye level 2. And these they get Porcupine, I guess. I don't know, B tier.
I think C tier. High
Yeah.
C or low B, because you need them. You have
You
to
need
make some,
Necessity.
but you don't need to make loads.
They are not going to do anything.
No,
They're just gonna
there
cover
to
you.
protect rather than to do anything else. Yeah.
I put DG Pikemen here, so I'll just put them lower.
Yeah.
Because they are more expensive and... yeah, they're more expensive. Oh my god, Mountain Orc Scouts, what the hell? Is it the tier, boys?
I've never made them. I've never seen anyone else make them.
So the issue is... you want to make Mountain Orcs, you make 2 lodges, one for Pike, one for Swordsman, so probably you are making third lodge for Archers. And they are not that great, it's not Archer meta, I don't know. Is it D tier, Dranzer?
Yeah.
Might be. There is that niche that you can get fire arrows immediately from the forge, right?
Yeah.
And you can pop on them, but I don't know. All nosy ones absolutely destroyed me on Tarnos. With those, this is exactly strat. But I don't think it because the strat was amazing. I think because I sucked compared to nosy, and that's why.
It can work, but usually there is no point to it. I mean, they're not as useless as Gundam Wolf Riders. Pathstalkers, so the only specialized melee units, or general, the only melee units of Lorien that is good? Question mark?
Might
I
be.
like them.
I like them too.
I like them more now. I'm using them more.
How OP are those wenches? Okay, someone.
Amazing trample defense.
Yeah, lot of crash armor, high damage, and splash. Although there are 8 of them in battalion, I think, or 10. I think it's 8.
And they get buffed by that lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Idril, Hardir, and well, that's it, really.
I like them, and I actually think I've now changed my mind a lot. I think they need path stalkers more than the elite archers.
Yeah.
I've changed my attack on it.
As of late, you are definitely seeing more path stalkers than Gallifreys.
Hmm.
Double damage at level 2. Everyone knows that ability is bit bugged and their targeting is bit shit on that level 2 ability. If it works, then if they're going to fix it, then path stalkers are going to go up, I think. But currently, it's not working well.
I think that's fair. It's fair.
Peasants, one of the best probable units in the game. The only issue is that you make it from farms, so you kind of have to make at least, preferably 3 farms, so you get inflation. But that's not the issue of the unit. The unit itself is maybe even the highest of A tier. If you have skill issue, okay. Yeah, Boys, how good is that spammable unit?
It's very good because it allows AON to level up faster.
Yeah, it's crazy that AOWin gives 100% to those peasants, which means basically she siphons the experience from peasants, and any of their heroes siphon experience from peasants. She gives them that 25% armor, which makes them work for a really long time. You don't really need to tech up to West folders if you stack modifiers on your peasants, and you can get draft. So maybe worse than Dunedain, I don't know. Maybe even.
I don't know. I think there's an argument for S tier. Like, you can stay on them for so long. You don't have to take out of them quickly. That's my only thing is like,
yeah, if I stop making peasants, it's because I don't want to make them out those 3 farms, and I just want to delete those 3 farms so I don't get inflation and they don't get destroyed easily. Yeah, I don't know, maybe lowest of S tier, maybe, guys. Dranzer.
I think you have to open with them, really. They're so useful to Rohan.
Yeah. Riders of Pinif Galen. Very cost efficient early cavalry. They will trample, they will harass, they will die, but it's tier 1 cavalry. They can get as cheap as 375. Somewhere in S tier king. I don't know, better than next to Work Riders.
Yes, I can see that, but are they better? I think they might be better than Work Riders because I feel like they are more flexible. You can get more value from Work Riders, but Work Riders can very easily, I don't remember the word in English, backfire. Yeah, backfire. While Pinaf Gelin, I think it's harder for them to backfire. Or am I going nuts?
I think you are going a bit nuts.
Okay.
I think they die as much as Work Riders.
Nah, do they?
I don't know. Maybe you are right, maybe they die less. I haven't finished like cavalry, heroes and monsters on my spreadsheet, so I don't know the stats. Okay. Handmaidens, Yarsking.
Easy S tier.
Easy S tier, how good is that S tier? Somewhere in the middle? Or maybe somewhere slower S tier. It's quite possible Lorien will be dead by the time you get first Handmaiden, but once you get Handmaidens and start spamming them with those glaives, then it's fine.
What upgrades should you get with them?
There's only one. The glaive.
Oh, you only click one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and for splash damage, then on level 3 you have mini Istari Light.
Wow.
And they buff Galadriel, but it's like on the side.
So unnecessary.
Fine.
Yes, I think yes.
Ravages, oh my god.
Yes.
Those guys takes no damage, no revenge damage from Grey Company.
So how about a
Even
swordsman?
heroes struggle killing like.
Yeah.
Struggle killing them.
Yeah, so swordsmen like can trample, but for some reason they don't take revenge damage, and they take barely any damage. They have a lot of damage, they have splash. They have extra siege damage against buildings. They have 8000 HPs, which is much more than any elite swordsman, although they're a bit lower on armor. But I think that's fine. Yeah, fucking amazing. Maybe worse than Havagers just because of the decay.
I think better than Avengers.
Well, easy to access and cheaper.
Even more, yeah.
And they can stack. They can stop armies. They can stun them basically by trampling them, and then
True.
and that's what you need as DG. You just need to get to them, and then they are fucked.
Okay. Reason that I don't think it's their time for some reason. You've been making them a lot, Dranzer, of late.
Yes. So my reasoning is basically if battalion is about to die, right? Then I can swap to them, and then I keep the momentum of just overwhelming my enemy with units as Dol Guldur. Also, just because I go for early Spire, I have more room to make them, right? So you see me actually using them a little bit more. They feed a lot. They are like wars, in my opinion. They are like the wars Death of Arnor, right? But just that ability to get a free unit. You just need to calculate when to actually
Micromanage.
Transform them, because sometimes it doesn't make sense because they will die anyway, right? So sometimes it just, I think this unit can work, you just need to know when, but fortunately you don't have to take that risk because you can just let the unit die, and that's okay because that's a cheap fucking spear or archer anyway.
Yeah, the issue is for some reason they feed.
Yes.
Why they feed? I don't know. They feed. I mean, but yeah, generally you're just getting 3 units out of your units that are going to die. And they are fast, they deal a lot of damage. For some reason they have good pierce armor against archers. But you don't see them that often, so what, B tier? Or A tier?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yes. Rivendell archers. So technically the best elven archer, but you don't get really any modifiers on them compared to Galafrim or to Greenwood, and they cost 800 compared to 700 Galafrim or to discounted Greenwood archer. Oh, immune to fear, I guess, yeah, there isn't it. And actually, it's quite possible that Dunedain with Aragorn have better. I mean, with Aragorn, definitely Dunedain archers have better DPS than Noldorin archers. And I think even without Aragorn, it's quite comparable. But the Dunedain deal the weird type of damage, so they deal the specific type of damage like slash, pierce, specialized. But they also deal damage called undefined. And the armor value for against undefined damage varies greatly, so it's difficult to tell which unit actually there's more damage, is it Ranger or Archer. But in general, I don't think Rivendell archers are that good, in my opinion. I would place them somewhere in B tier.
Yeah, I think it's slightly like the same with Loth. You know, on Loth where you get stuck on tier 1 quite a lot, and then I find it hard to transition to elite units. I think with Rivendell you can get away with the what are the middle ones, the Dunedain ones, for ages, and then you kind of get stuck on them, and then by the time you've then built whatever this Rivendell barracks is called, then upgraded it to level 3, right?
Archers level 2.
He's a level 2, and then got some of them. I'd rather go for heroes and stick with the Dunedain archers. So I just think I don't know where the place is for them. I think it's very late game. If you've got loads of money and loads of time, then get them, sure. But the game's kind of almost done by then, in my opinion. It's like
Matty, you may not know the game, but you understand the game.
Dude, real.
I'd hope so by now.
Yeah, you understand the issues. Like, there is huge issue with Rivendell transitioning to that late game. Usually just they stay on Dunedain and Brilliant. It's the issue because Dunedain and Brilliant may not be efficient enough in late game, but those Noldoran units are probably too expensive.
I think Loth and Rivendell have a weird transition.
I don't know.
I'd like to see the elite Rivendell become a bit cheaper. I think.
We're gonna touch this in those units. Second. I put them quite low in this beta. I don't like.
Yeah, I agree.
Who the hell thought it's good idea to make elite pikemen 100 resources? C tier garbage next to this thing.
Yeah, they're just too expensive. All of them are.
So I'm gonna say it again. I think it's the third time. Elite pikemen have very similar stats. I think all pikemen share the same damage. Harundor pike 75, Uruk-hai pikemen 75, Palace guard 75, Cannon Amroth 75, those things 75. The only thing, the Glazemen I think are a little bit tankier than other pikemen, but it's not justifying the price. And because they are pikemen, they are going to be inefficient against any other unit than cavalry anyway. So why would you pay 100 for your elite pike?
Yeah. I think also, my last point on this comparison, on Age of the Ring, because it's a hard counter system, the basic tier 1 pikes do such a good job against cav. Whereas in 202, you have to get elite pikes to then stop the cav. Does that make sense? So it's like, I think in Age of the Ring, you get away with not having to have elite pikes so much.
Yes. Sometimes you feel like you need elite pikes, but half of the games you don't need it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Same issue. So as I said that before, Greenwood swordsmen have similar stats, but Greenwood swordsmen can be as cheap as 560, while the Rivendell swordsmen are still 800.
That's so much money.
Yeah. And they will probably just die to heroes anyway. They pose no threat to heroes. Heroes will two-shot them. They cost 800. Other units are simply better. Like, there is no justification for them being so expensive. Yes, you can get heavy armor later and they will be extremely tanky, but you still have to pay for that heavy armor. So what's the reason? Why they're so expensive?
I'd rather have 4 bounders. I'd rather have 4 bounders providing a meat shield that can also take down structures pretty quickly.
Yeah, and the only leadership they get is from Elrond.
Yeah, I like them with Elrond, but again, it's very few cases where you even get to that stage.
Yeah, exactly, when they get to that stage. They are not C, but they are B. Somewhere in the middle of B, truth be told. Sometimes I get them just because I feel I simply cannot do more with hobbits. I don't know, somewhere over here. Oh boy.
This pains me, They're so good, but they're just locked behind so much time and money.
Because they are so good.
Yeah. I love them, but...
The Rivendell Lancer is probably the reason you are getting Dormitory in the first place. And it tells you a lot about the quality of the units if you are going to absolutely stop making Dunedain Outriders, which are already excellent unit. You're just getting another extremely good cavalry unit, but like elite, not tier 2. Yeah, they are great, they can be upgraded, they have bows and they deal a lot of damage with those bows. And the bows can be upgraded as well. So yeah, and I think 2 of those with their active ability can probably trample, I don't know, maybe even 500 CP worth of units. The trample is amazing.
Yeah, they're crazy good.
Yeah, and they heal because they are elves. So summon A tier, maybe even S tier.
Let alone ability that allows them to trample a lot, especially since they come in like late game and there's more units on the field. It's so nice because you can use one battalion to trample and still survive. Where, for example, let's say you make stables for some reason as Rohan and make one battalion of, let's say, Rohirrims. I think there is a higher chance for that Rohirrim to die if you send it alone. So you kind of sometimes need to wait for the second battalion. Especially in team games, you know, when this guy, you can just pull the ability and just go in and you will get fired. That's maybe, I don't know, maybe very niche what I said.
No,
Nah,
they
that's
definitely feel tankier. It is a wild take. I actually think Rivendell would play better if you got rid of the Dunedain camp and made these units cheaper and less powerful. People won't agree with that, but
that's impossible.
it's just like, I just like to see them more.
Yeah.
They're just locked behind too high of a cost and time with the dormitory, and then, but people don't get them because you could just use Dunedain camp for 70% of the game. So there's just no reason really to go there.
Yeah, I mean, let the Rivendell Lancers be locked, be gated, because they are very good. But what the hell, any other unit is so expensive? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, maybe not. You kind of, I suppose it's hard to have a reason for everything, but
Someone put a number and someone forgot to update the number. Matty. Rohirrim Archers.
God.
Play enough 4v4s and you will see those units breed like rabbits.
I can't make out if I like them or not.
Draft Tower
think
exists,
I
D
do.
tier.
You know I don't like about them, but that might be my skill issue, but I wonder what you guys think about it. I have a hard time positioning those units and repositioning them compared to normal archers.
That's true. They
Could
feel
they have less
different.
range or something?
No, they
Maybe they have less
I
range.
think as much as tier 1 archers. I mean, smaller range than elite archers, but
Have you done Gondor's tier 1 archers yet?
yeah, Black Root.
Where are they?
Here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because like they are on a horse, so it's tougher to put them in the comfortable position, and they just need more time to, you know,
Yeah.
rearrange themselves.
Yeah, like cavalry needs a lot of time to rearrange itself. One of the reasons if cavalry is getting knocked back, they probably get stuck and die. Why just infantry doesn't care about getting knocked back. Draft tower exists, then you need stables to make them. You don't make stables because of draft tower, and you have Halathirians, which, as I said, Halathirians deal only about 11% less damage than Rohirrim archers, and Farathirians get cool abilities while Rohirrim don't. The only saving grace is that they deal amazing damage when they finally get heavy arrows, but that's a lot of investment and like super late game, and you're probably fine without going for them anyway, even in late game. Yeah, D tier. Rohirrim Warriors, draft tower exists, plus it's probably the best tier 2 cavalry, somewhere in S tier in that case.
Yes, easiest turn.
Probably better than, I don't know, better than Broken Rebel, somewhere next to Trolls. Or is it too much? I think it's too much.
Are these the basic Rohan ones or not?
The tier 2 Rohirrim Warrior you get from draft tower, level 2 stables.
Oh, okay.
Dranzer, I need your expertise in that case.
Yeah, you two can take that one.
I think. Oh my god, I would put them lower than Ravager. So. I would put them lower than Ravager.
They are lower than Ravager.
Oh wait, because I was looking on stream. I think here is fine. Maybe Ephelians above.
I will leave it here.
Okay.
Feridir. Such an annoying unit.
Hard. hard to, yeah.
You basically can do as Wooderman without doing any units, because you can, in the emergency, just spam some Feradirs and you will defend yourself just fine. Also, if your enemy doesn't have cavalry, then you are probably quite a bit screwed if there are spam of Feradirs. Yeah.
I think they're B. I just
Yeah,
feel like
B.
sometimes they're amazing, sometimes they're S tier, and other times they're D tier, depending on the opener of the other.
Because
of your opponent.
you still pay a lot for a unit that can.
Yeah,
that
they're
gets
125. Yeah. I like them versus Erebor.
No, oh my god, yes. Poor Erebor. Oh my god.
Meh.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue. It's supposed to, like, your swordsman is supposed to be your main unit. Meanwhile, it sucks because it got nerfed. It's not.
C tier.
It's not efficient. It's not doing well. It dies to many other swordsmen. It's C tier. Aware? I don't know. At least you will make it, you know, maybe better than Ranger.
Yeah, you have to make it.
No shame, straight to C. Yeah. It's difficult to rate one of the main units of the factions, but at the same time the unit sucks, you know.
You can get away with not making them really, between their archers and pikes. You don't really.
In team game, yeah, but in 1v1,
Yeah.
no way, no way.
Yeah, of course.
Sindar Nobles, how about Knights of Amarov, but better and cheaper, huh? How about that?
Are these Woodland Realm
Yeah,
elite?
your
card
favorites?
ones? Yeah, I love them.
B tier, maybe low A tier.
Low A.
Yeah,
I
no way,
think.
that's in the knife. Better than those. Yeah, somewhere maybe over here. Horse archers of Woodred. I don't
Suck.
know.
They suck.
No,
I've tried
no,
spamming them lately.
No. Oh, here is your issue.
Teammates. It's teammates issues.
The
It's
Trump.
like
B.
trample is like okay at
It's
best.
okay.
Archer damage is okay at best, but the fact that they come from the same building, so you don't have to make that extra decision. Oh, should I go as Calf, as Woodland,
sure.
right? You need them, you make them. You don't need them, you don't make
You
them.
make one of those, your enemy starts to spam pikemen. You fine.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Can go
can
back
say
to
that,
infantry.
Yeah.
Uh.
I actually liked it recently versus DG for the spiders.
Hmm.
Because
Interesting.
you can, yeah, you have to micro them a lot though, because if the spiders then attack you, then yeah, I mean they get melted, but they kind of helped.
I don't know. Maybe it's a weird spot, but I don't. We cannot overthink it. Sylvan pikemen. So, if the fast unit is harassing you, you send cavalry. But what if it's a pikeman? So those guys are basically immune to anything. If you play well and if you want them to survive, then they are immune to anything except archers. But you can still run away from archers. I think it's S tier.
Yes.
Definitely S tier. The
Yes.
speed is so good.
I put them between Harbinger and Rohirrim.
High damage, high revenge damage.
Yeah, ability at
attack.
level 2, heal, stealth, speed. Porcupine. Cheap, because discounts. Knife
Same
fighter.
it is. I'd put them just ahead of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're literally the same.
The same. So they win most fights, but they don't have to take those fights because they can just run away. Great.
Do they have the same speed? Those pikes and swords?
Yeah. They horse
Because a lot
speed.
of factions don't.
No. Only Lorien and Rivendell pikes are slower than the other
Ah.
units of their factions. Why? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe you should ask some beta tester about it.
Get over here. Zerion.
Also, I know Age of the Ring devs want to keep them the fastest units in the game, right?
Mm.
But their horse speed is 65, while other units have either 50, 55. Why not just make them 60 speed? I don't know.
I'm gonna keep them fast, and they gotta decrease the building damage because it's insane against farms.
I mean, the changes are being made,
No.
of course, but
Yeah, sure.
why not just make them slower? Why did? Sanafra sisters, I love them. They are spider.
You two love them, yeah. You two
Yeah.
are good with them.
They have good armor against archer swordsmen, so they can be left in melee for a little bit. They have good line of sight because they are monsters. And because they are monsters, they have splash, they deal excellent against cavalry, so you probably need mounted heroes to counter them. I think they are just better spiders. Dranzer?
I prefer
Fine.
spiders.
I don't
Dranzer
use
obviously
them.
loves the spiders.
But those are the elite one. I don't use the elite ones.
No, nor me. I think the base ones are great.
Hmm. I like to upgrade if I get the chance, although I don't really get.
I feel like they're a bit of a troll pick. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the small spiders are more efficient because you can trample easily. But the big spiders are like, oh, okay, I've got the upper hand, I'm just gonna wreck you even more now.
I think you can more easily trample with the big spider because the pathfinding is completely different compared to the small spiders because they are battalion and the big spider is just one spider, single entity unit. I know, my tier list, I say they go here. Last time I said you could as well put them in A tier as well as C tier, and we put them in B tier.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. Fuck those guys. C tier. Where?
Yes.
Wait, why? What's happened?
We are talking about Matty'sMirks slashers.
These are the misty ones, right?
Yes.
No? Yeah. So aren't they still bugged XP? Like they level up too quickly?
It's quote unquote bug, yes. Why?
I always thought they were really good. I thought you guys loved them.
No. Okay. First of all, I think they mainly level up quickly on the Frozen Waste.
Yes. Yeah.
Although, I don't know. Do they level
I
up
think
quickly?
they're strong.
I
Yes.
don't feel like.
So, they are strong in the correct situation. But the thing is, they are ready correct situation for them to be strong in, right? So they are very expensive. Their pikesmen are very expensive, which means you have those very expensive control groups, which means you cannot, for example, do cavalry, which means you are only making some very expensive swordsmen and pikemen. You cannot both harass and defend yourself because you have less units that are more expensive, and you can be outplayed by the enemy because enemy has more cash to work with, so they can make both cavalry and archers and swordsmen, and they simply, simply get outplayed, outspammed. And so their quality doesn't really matter because they will die. Yes, you can do one YOLO push with Slasher, some Pikemen, and Frozen Waste, but if that fails, you are cooked.
Yeah, it's
guy.
all or nothing, isn't it? It's all or
Yes.
nothing.
I find they level much faster than their Swordsman, minus Broken Rebel. Maybe they do level up quickly.
I think they've got on level 2. They're so good. They're a different unit on level 2.
Yes, definitely. But I think they level up quickly because they are, on paper, good units. They have good stats, so they will win with lots of other swordsmen. And because they win a lot, they level up. I think that's the reason they level up so quickly. Maybe it's not a bug. I mean, quote unquote bug. But yeah, at level 2, if Snowwork starts to snowball on that level 2, then it gets extremely scary. But most of the time, the Snowwork gets shut down by usually cavalry and by spam. So, C tier, fuck them. Snowborn, D tier, because Draft Tower and basically Rohirrim are better. So if you don't know Matty, those are basically Rohirrim, but
Anti-cav, right?
they do more damage to other cavalry Wait, what the fuck? Where'd they go? Oh. They do more damage to cavalry, but they have worse trample, and their formation is different.
You just don't need them. You don't need them.
Yeah, there's no point. Why? Even if there was no draft tower in its current state, there would still be no point to make them. Also, they lost. Yeah. Someone exactly. I forgot. They lose to cheaper units. They lose to Guardians. I mean, it's obvious. Guardians wins with everything. They lose to Variax. They lose to Mahouts. And out of the... I mean, they lose to Bardings, obviously. What is the other expensive tier 1.5 swordsman? I think that's it. Yeah, they win with tier 1 units, but by tier 1.5 units they get wrecked. I don't know why they are so expensive. As I said, make spears much cheaper, makes those cheaper. Do they lose to Grease Hammers? I mean, Grim Hammers barely win with Clansmen, so I don't think they lose to Grim Hammers. Snow Orcs. Snow Orcs, Jesus. Snow Trolls. So... It's broken unit. It's a monstrous elite archer that is faster than infantry, can trample infantry, deals AoE, and has scalar extra against heroic against elite units and heroes, which usually means it can either one-shot or two-shot elite units. I think it's one-shot elite units and two-shots upgraded elite units. It's broken. But in its current meta, it's not as good because there is just a lot of cavalry and archer heroes. Also, Misty Mountains suck, so it's rarely have enough cash to get snow trolls, you know. How annoying is that archer? Yes, king. Even if you get cavalry to get them, they can just pull out their maces and knock back the cavalry to buy enough time for pikemen to cover them. I don't know. I put them somewhere in a tier.
No, I don't use them enough. I should probably start.
Yeah, if you're an archer enjoyer, you definitely should.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's difficult. Yeah, that's... Yeah, meta is plays a huge part in the unit placement, so it's difficult. By raw performance, I would just put it into S tier.
Intimates are absolutely disgusting.
I put them here. Gunda Snow Troll. It's kind of like Olok High, maybe a bit better because it can be upgraded. Next to Olok High.
Amazing. That's...
The pride and joy of Gondor. I cannot say they are the best elite cavalry because they are not elite, they are heroic cavalry. But at the same time, they get quite a lot of modifiers. They get experience from Gandalf, they get dedicated leadership from Imrahil, and mainly because they already have high stats and they get a dedicated from Imrahil, they're absolutely monstrous cavalry. They are amazing. The only problem is that you need that tier 3 of Gondor. If not for that tier 3, I would put them in S tier, but because you need tier 3, someone in A tier.
Is that the tier 3 should be going as Gondor? Like, should I be going that every time?
So you want LSR over Eagles, so if you go right side, it's not really a problem.
Right.
So you go tier 1s, then you either go Garden or Numenorian Engineering. Both are in the middle. And then you can take any of the tier 3, right? But in tier 3, you either pick Weather in the middle, or either... What the fuck? Or either you pick Weather in the middle, or Dolamarov on the right. So we go into LSR.
Yeah, I always go Weather, and I think I probably should be using these instead.
It's not that you have to go Dolamarov, but if you can, you probably should.
Yeah, I need to use them. Never used them.
Yeah, they're excellent. The Tomb Guard, just an elite pikeman, I guess they're fine. It's B tier, A tier? I don't know.
I would put even in lower B tier, because Tolguldur is such a menace in the meta that sometimes you don't even need pikes.
Yeah, sometimes you
Yeah,
don't
that's a
need
good point.
pikes.
If Ravagers weren't a thing, then I think you'd use them all. But you
Yeah.
just don't really need them, right? With
You
Ravagers.
have that summon from Karga, from Crimple, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
have so many slows. You can't even trample the door because they will just get stuck and die.
Hmm. I put them in here. Turkish archers. So your cheap archers as Rivendell, but you have dedicated elite archers. I sometimes make them, but super rarely when it's like emergency and I need to get some archer quickly to, I don't know, defend me from Whiteman or anything. I don't know, some in B tier, maybe lower B tier.
I think low B. I love them, but I just yeah, I make them because I love them rather than because necessary.
Love to archer is too strong. Maybe higher than Blackroot. At least I make 2k archers.
Do you
and
use
never
them?
make.
Only in the situation that Concrete said. So
Yeah, well,
my go-to archers are obviously Dunedain, and if somehow I am hard pushed early on as Rivendell, right, like rushed, then I'm like, okay, 1 battalion of hobbits, and then I need archers, right?
yeah.
Okay. Druid Traders D tier.
Kurva, they nerfed them to the ground. They used to be so fun, so niche, so fun, because no one made them. Oh my god. Look how they massacre my boys.
I mean, they have quite a high damage, they have quite high armor, but they have very low HP, so they just die. I don't know, there's not much of point using them. Maybe you can get them on level 2 and use Scavenger.
Wow.
Not really.
No.
Stay in the trash can. Trash, exactly so man. Lighted Trappers, the units that I don't want Matty to learn about them.
Discover. Yeah.
Yeah, discover.
I need to make them.
To be fair, they're probably one of the best
Addy's
archers in the
units.
game.
What?
They're probably one of the best archers in the game. So,
Okay, I need to make them. They just remind me of Addy. I always see Addy using them.
so instead of Pierce, they do Slash, which allows them to deal with heroes even better. And is it true? I don't know. But anyway, they can destroy buildings and they have 100% hit chance, which means everything hits, which means they destroy absolutely everything. And then don't
Can
decay.
they get trampled? Or do they act
Yeah,
like
they
pikes?
can. No, they are not pikes.
Oh, okay, so
They're
you
like
need pikes
archer.
in there.
They're archer. Extremely good, but because of DG Def Clump meta, maybe someone in A tier. Low A tier or B tier.
Low A tier, because they are amazing, but you don't usually use them, don't need to use them. You can use them and they will be amazing, but they are more flexible options as Tolguldur.
I think DG is going to be interesting in new patch because if Crimple and Kargas get nerfed, which they should, then we might see more different units early on as well. Right now, there's no reason not to just get those 3 heroes.
But the problem is the Ravagers, Broken Rubble, and Harbingers are going to be nerfed. The question is how much. It's quite possible that they'll be nerfed too much. And will be put DG in quite a difficult spot, especially considering hero nerfs as well. Because they can already suffer, but they can cheese their way through the game by just abusing strong units as heroes.
Yeah.
Unburied Wights, I like them, they're pretty strong. They can do as much as 50% debuff for armor and attack. So, I don't know, maybe low A tier. Maybe higher. Yeah, here. Yeah, here. Yeah. Oh. So they're difficult to kill unless you focus them with archers or heroes. They did some splash. They have lifesteal and they have that debuff. Also, they don't cost CP for some reason. So yeah, pretty good. fighting Uruk-hai S tier. So you'd think it's your average tier 2 swordsman. The thing is, because Isengard have to rely so heavily on them, they get a lot of buffs. Not only a lot of buffs and modifiers, but you also can get extremely cheap upgrades on your Uruk-hai. So clear S tier. I don't know where necessarily. Maybe lower than Eastering Archers, but higher than Uzbadul. Don't cost CP, yeah, I mentioned it. Dranzer? How is that CK free game?
I don't think they are better than Uzbadul. But on the other hand, when you make them, you already have lords, so you have leadership on them, and you have heal on them, and probably lead speed buff from Uglok. They're just perfect.
Why make them? I can make berserkers. Shut up, so man. Shut up.
Because professionals have standards.
Exactly.
I think that's fair.
Like, Uzbadul are extremely good, but they are extra. And you will be taking up as Isengard, one of the few factions you will be actually taking up to get fighting Uruk-hai. Uruk-hai crossbowman. You are making melee death blow as Isengard, and you already have Uruk scouts. I would place them just next to Anorians once, maybe even higher because they have higher damage, although lower range.
But you don't need them as most of the time, because you have scouts.
Yeah, so what, even lower? Low B?
Yes, low B.
God damn. Maybe. Uruk-hai pikeman, how good is that pikeman? Yes.
For some reason, I don't know, but I think they have the same stat, almost the same stat as every tier 2 pike.
Because they have.
But for some reason, they deal so much more damage, it always seems like.
That's the modifiers.
Oh my, shut the fuck up.
So yeah, you want your pikemen to be cost efficient, and they are extremely cost efficient. I get shit tons of modifiers and can slap cheap upgrades on them. It might be the second pikeman that I would put into S tier.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, maybe the lowest.
I can see that.
I can see. Uruk-hai Scout, holy moly.
S tier.
I don't make them that much in 1v1, I just roll on the Wideman spam. But they are extremely good, especially in team games, S tier.
They are insanely good in team games for 300 cost. Mixed with Wildmen. It's like the whole dynamic makes them better.
And was blend bounders? I don't know. It's really get difficult at this point, like in the mid of S tier. Okay. Shit bearers, that tier. So let me micromanage that one unit so I can get some extra armor. Well, technically it's the same thing you are doing with your heroes, right? But the thing is, if you already have a lot of things to micromanage like your heroes, you don't want to be bothered than one extra unit that can give you some extra armor. I don't know. I don't know what they can even do with that unit, but I am keeping it D tier. Nobody makes it, nobody uses it. Screw it.
I'm just calling it a single player unit, you know?
Yeah, that's a good name, single player unit. Variax, yes, cake.
S tier, and I take no arguments. I mean S tier, what the fuck? S tier.
Yeah, you said D.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is
amazing.
It is the PG favorite.
Jesus.
Adivasi started making them with Orc Pikemen and then we took over.
I still remember that random game on Backland when you were on the bottom left corner versus someone who was Woodland Realm, and you were like, I'm fucked as Mordor versus Woodland Realm, might as well make them. And then 5 minutes later, they're like, hey, they actually fucking good.
I wonder who was the player that lost against.
And this is how old starts. The OG, the best, the GOAT harass group with pikemen from Mordor. Let me just, like, how often I see those guys level 3 in team games and in single player compared to other swordsman unit, right?
Yeah.
So good. That fucking speed. You can catch your enemy. You can just use it immediately to be faster, to approach your enemy faster. It's so simple. It's so good.
So they win with almost everything. Mahut can beat them. Mahut, Bardings, and Guardians. And I think that is it. As Dranzer said, extra movement speed, extra armor against archers on that passive ability. The recruitment time is extremely fast. And if your opponent doesn't go cavalry, you're basically dead if Mordor decides to spam Variax. The only problem is you don't really get any modifiers or any passive leaderships on Variax. So maybe it is better to switch to Black Uruks, for example, later on when you get more modifiers on those Black Uruks. But that's the only real issue. Also, the movement speed ability can get quite easily shut down if enemy make pikemen. Enemy makes cavalry, because then you have to pair them with pikemen. But yeah, they're amazing. Vault Wardens. The only pikemen with splash, and they do a lot of damage, but that's because only 5 units out of 10 make actually damage. The other ones hold the shield. And they get leadership next to mines, but the range on that leadership is quite small, unfortunately. 500, the recruitment time is longer than normal pikemen, so you cannot just replace normal pikemen with them, which I think that should be changed. Recruit time should be reduced. But yeah, I don't know, high B tier, low A tier, in my opinion.
High B tier. I like the idea. No, low A tier. Wait, what would you say again?
What? Void Wardens?
Yeah, which tier?
High B, low A.
Low A. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I like the idea of unit that is supposed to defend mine to have splash. I think that's very fair. And that's probably one of the few times when splash on hero/unit in Age of the Ring makes sense. Hashtag to my boy Shagrat. Shout out to my boy Shagrat.
Yeah, so better pikemen, you get the best revenge damage you can get on pikemen, splash, leadership on mines. As I said, only problem is the high recruitment time, but that is it really. Overall, they're amazing. I mean, they're very good. Vets of the Last Alliance. I probably easily passed the 1000 hour marks in Age of the Ring, and it's probably closing to maybe even 2 hours. 2k hours in Age of the Ring. And I don't know what is the purpose of this unit. Are they supposed to be tanks? Are they support? Because they are definitely not the damage dealers. I don't know.
You don't really need them.
I think they are a single player
expensive.
unit.
Are they D? Or did I see?
Low C. Not D. I think C. Because at least they have good range, so you just have to work very hard in order to get them killed.
Yeah, the problem is if we get stuck, that's so much money down the drain. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Noldor with Arman leadership tank better. The Noldor even have better DPS than them. I don't know what's the point. Their abilities there are cool and good, but you need to level them up. So it's difficult. Work pack. So it's cheap cavalry, so their performance shouldn't be that good, right? Customers in C. Okay, Tengu. So the performance should be the best, but at the same time, if I have to micromanage my cavalry to trample enemy unit 3 or 4 times, that's not a good cavalry unit. Micro is also a resource in RTS game. The more time I have to spend to trample those units and probably lose some of the work in the process, the worse the unit is. So I would say it's C tier. The only good thing about them is they're decent at trading with cavalry and harassing. But I'm making cavalry to trample and they are not fulfilling their job. Fuck Warpack. C tier. That's what Tengu said.
I like them.
Yeah, we've got Fimbul. I mean, maybe better now, right?
But maybe that's the team game experience with weaker players, you know. Speaking from me.
So it's Haronder Warlord, not the one of the Haronder units, but I think it's fine to place Haronder Warlords as overall units. So Tribesmen, high versatility, generally good units.
I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lot of modifiers you can put on them. They're doing quite well on the loan. They have 55 movement speed. Yeah. Summon A tier.
Yes, treble spam is so fucking
versatile.
deadly. It can be so deadly, man.
Yeah, I like it. It's my go-to Harad strat. I'm using Mahoods less.
Yeah. As of late I've been using more Mahoods, but I've been always using Harad spam. Does this include the in units? No, it's some old tier lists from I think event 7.3.1. Yeah, I think it's the old tier list that Dranzer just added Harad units, because you can see Riders of the Knife have the old portrait, so there are like no in units. Westfolders. So basically, the more aggressive Minas Tirith Knights. They have less HP but more damage, and they have different ability. Oh.
8, yeah, yes.
Yeah, also thinking
With
that.
Erken.
Erkebrand doesn't give them that much, but the other heroes can also benefit them with their modifiers, like Theodred, for example, you know?
Dude, the Odred can give them ability to not being trampled, which means you can just mass produce them in Ethereum.
Erkebrand.
Erkebrand, I'm sorry. And then just get your Nazgul or get your Calf stacked inside of them. So good.
And they got shield formation. They're so tanky with shield formation.
I don't like using formations because of the pathfinding issues, but yeah, you can. Oh, woof woof. Wild works. I think it's the reason the Misty Mountains can even win in mid game.
Only survivable. Yeah.
Yeah. It's their win condition. If you don't go Gunfeeble with White Wolves, you're probably going to lose. S tier.
Agree.
You
Low
can
S, maybe.
snowball them. They snowball so fucking hard. You can kill everything. You can nuke the fucking base. You can nuke the fucking fort.
The fort, yeah.
Yeah, with
I'm
hatred
sure I
for the
killed one of
Fell
your forts once, Dranzer, in that 1v1 with White Wolves, didn't I? Or I
You were
tried
about to,
something.
but then I
Yeah.
start whining, so you start.
They
Yeah.
are good.
I put them extremely high. Yeah, I have no idea why they have such a high damage. It's not that they do high damage to certain things, they just overall have high damage. And I think they even have better trample than Gundabat Wolf Riders, you know. Also, they come from tier 2 that you are most likely going to take, because any other tier 2 is mediocre at best. Okay, I think those are axe throwers because there is axe on the icon.
That's exposed.
So we have Uruk Scouts, but for example, sometimes I'm not making Uruk Scouts and 1v1s, and I'm making these boys. I think they are pretty fine. Also, they fit as much as melee wide men, despite being archers. I mean, they are alright. I would say middle of the B tier.
I think they should add that you can get blades on their axes, like in
Oh.
Toy 2. I think that'd be more useful.
Would it though? You're not getting upgrades that often in Ring, Matty.
Me personally, or everyone.
Everyone.
And with Eisen though, it's just in 202 they're a thing that you spam them in the end with upgrades and they're like unkillable.
Yeah, I mean, Isengard
I don't
has
see
very
anyone
cheap
making them,
upgrades. What?
I don't really see anyone making these.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one. I mean, sometimes someone else makes them. I don't know. The issue is with Uruk Scouts, they are so good.
Yeah.
And you want to
they're
use
just
them on
outclassed.
range, not in melee, so why make those, right?
Yeah.
So normal white man, one of the best harassment units in the game. Bit
Yeah.
like hobbits, but maybe a bit worse because they don't get that juicy guild leadership. They put them just next to the hobbits, Dranzer.
Yes.
They have worse damage, and I think they have worse armor. But they are more expensive. Weird. But let's leave it here. So Whiteman Pikeman.
That's
Better.
your-
Good. They're not good.
I would-
Damage-wise, but you need to have them there. They're a
Yeah.
bit like the Orc Pikes. Better than Orc Pikes, but like the same thing. They're just there to support the Wildmen. They're not good on their own.
Yeah, they have Pillage at level 2. Unfortunately, they don't have Porcupine, which is an issue in team games. As overall now, it's pretty good. I'll put it somewhere in low A tier because of that cheap cost and Pillage. No Porcupine C tier? Oh, come on, man.
Didn't know they got Pillage.
Nah, at level 2.
Okay.
Dranzer, am I putting them
I
too
would
high?
have put B, but you two know.
It's either high B or low A. Maybe high B. That's the maximum. They are still fucking pikes.
Yeah, exactly. Know your place, Pikeman. Woodsman.
Good on paper. I don't even
Never
think they
used
need buffs. It's just Sylvans are so overtuned. You will never use them. And just because of that, I think they belong to D tier.
Yes, good stats. Good stats, no need to do anything about that. Although, the only thing I would change is the movement speed. Because for some reason, they are only 50 movement speed. Why not make them 55? If already a lot of units are fast. And Sylvan are even faster, you know? So they can catch up with Sylvan. That's the only change. But yes, they are completely overshadowed by Sylvans. There is no point of making them right now. It's D tier. Also no torches D tier. Okay. Fireworm. Difficult. If you see them in 1v1, it's because Adivasi is playing.
Dude, I think they are good. I think they are still a good monster, even though they are expensive.
Yeah, 1500 upgrades from Force, 200 for a worm, I think 500 for a lair. I don't know.
It is a lot, but I think if you have money and you go for it,
You only use them when you're winning, I think. They're too risky to make otherwise.
yeah, that is also true.
And you're not winning much with Misty, so.
The best I
yeah,
can do next to
it is.
Coldrake. The best, but I think that's too much. Has dogs.
They're very resistant to arrows, aren't they?
Kinda. You need elite archers or heroes, but you will have at least heroes. Maybe it's like Castellan, you know. A bit. I don't know. Let's not overthink.
No.
Uh,
What are they?
Worm Slayers from the Redoubt Erebor unit. Any experience with them, Matty?
No. They're good though, right? Aren't they?
I mean, they're right. So it's
Aren't
funny.
they?
They're fast.
What are these on the specialist building?
So
and should they be used in late game composition or no?
no.
Okay.
So there are like your anti-hero units. They are fast. They are tanky and they have that firebomb ability. Overall, are very decent. But you would rarely make unit that is specialized in killing heroes as Erebor because you will have Gimli most likely, right? And if not, then maybe Master of the Lake Town or Philly. Or two archer heroes like Killy and Bart. So there is no really place for them in Erebor. But they're okay. So I would be content with putting them somewhere in B tier, maybe next to empty swords. Maybe even better than Rivendell. Dranzer, any thoughts?
No, I don't use them that much. They are good when your enemies clump.
Not related, but I think Killy's is level 2 or level 4. You know that like increases the speed of his shot or whatever.
I think quick draw is level 3.
Yeah, that cooldown needs to be higher because that feels like it comes back in like 30 seconds.
But the thing is, the only ability Killy has is that quick draw.
Yeah.
He's one trick pony, excuse me. So
I like him. What's that? What is this?
Yeoman Archers, tier 1 Archer of Rohan. So
Oh.
on paper they're very good because they're like Blackroot Veil Archer, but they can get much cheaper and they have formation level 2, which means they are cheaper and they have better damage. But Draft Tower exists, so I think I'm content in putting them in D tier. Or is it too much? Or maybe it is C tier, huh?
Who's the one to the right of them? Is that the Gondor cheap archer then?
Where?
Who's that? Yeah. What's that?
Rohirrim Archer.
Oh. Okay.
The horse archer.
So where have we put the Gondor tier 1 archer?
Here. Here.
Ah, okay. So they're a lot worse than that.
I mean, on paper they're much better, but Draft Tower exists, so why the hell?
Oh,
No.
I see.
I mean, I'm sure in the next part, if we are going to make trillies, they are going to be higher than Blackroot. But for now, it's sad, but it's I think. Yeoman Spearman, not very good. I guess they're comparable to Brinland, if I'm not mistaken. But they can be discounted quite a lot, so
Yeah.
because they can be discounted and the efficiency of the pikeman is the one that counts, somewhere in high B tier maybe. Maybe next to Wildman, you know, why not? Do you know this unit, Matty?
No, I was trying to work out what it was.
You should.
Oh,
It's an archer.
It's with the Mahud archer thing. I
Yeah,
made it once recently.
it's not the Mahut,
buffs
it's
them, doesn't
Nafarati. So it's more like
Well, yeah, it's
Kalaramba.
like that it's like the standalone one, right?
Yeah,
it's
it's
like one unit,
Beatmas.
yeah.
Yeah, buffs monsters from Pavilion. I mean, it's alright. I think
Does
the
it buff
buffs.
Mahud?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking if you go. I'm thinking of the unit next to that monkey.
Yes,
thinking of
Mahut
that.
Chieftain. He buffs Mahuts, he buffs monkeys and monsters.
Okay. D tier.
Hey, hold up. Himself is not that good, but he has 50% leadership for Pavilion monsters, and I think his active gives 33 or is it 50% damage on the marked enemy for monsters from Pavilion. So he's quite good. The problem is you are going to having only one Pavilion, so you're gonna have to alternate one monster, one Beastmaster. I think that's very annoying. But still, Pavilion is not very often used, but the Beast and the Beastmaster himself is quite good. I put them somewhere in C tier. His active does also slam. Is it Summon? I think Summon is level 4 Tengu. to summon works. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. Higher than Grimhammers, I feel like. Ah, but C tier. Numenorian Vanguard. Pretty good elite cavalry. The thing is, you want to get Guards of the Serpent as quickly as possible, as Harat. Because your Karondor Outriders or Riders, whatever is their name, suck.
It's quicker to get as well. You don't have to buy
Yeah.
the new, whatever it's called.
Level 3.
And then level 3 as well.
Yeah, the thingy.
It just takes ages.
Yeah. By the time you get them, if everything goes well, you have very high level Serpent Guard, and I think that Serpent Guard is enough. Like, if it's not enough, then you are probably playing team game. You need more cavalry. Pretty good, not very useful. It feels bad to put them next to King Guards. Maybe this is how it's supposed to be, Dranzer.
No, lower than Kingsguard, definitely not. Because Serpent Guards exist.
But put them next to King's Guard, how about that? Or am I wrong?
Well, I need to see whether Kingsguard. Ah, wait, Kingsguard are C tier because of Draft Tower, so actually that placement makes sense. Because if not for Draft Tower, then this placement wouldn't make sense. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, the Warriors of Numenor. They have opinion of very solid swordsmen, and they are solid swordsmen, A tier, maybe next to Greenwoods. Better, because they have very good leadership, yeah?
Yes, usually you will get them, at least you should in my opinion, get them before you get, after you get Casimir, and because Casimir is an amazing meta hero, right? So they get that 33 leadership, which is amazing. Like armor, I think it's the things that you want on swordsman. No doubt about it. So even if their stats were mediocre, with the leadership they're amazing. And since their stats are already amazing, they're just so good with Casimir, man.
Good, yes, as Dranzer said, good stats, juicy leadership, even leadership from ZR rule, some actives, modifiers, you know, why not? They don't feed because they are 10 units battalion, and they can get discounted with fortress upgrades if you want. The same thing for our Vanguard. But yeah. Birds, cheap anti-cav option from quite expensive building, and I think that's the reason the building is expensive in the first place, so you don't get that bird extremely easily. Also, the recruitment time on this bird is very long. At least this is how I feel. I don't know, I'm tempted to put it into E tier. It can completely shut down enemy cav harassment.
Yes.
And if you lose it, it doesn't hurt because it's less than 400. Maybe over here, I don't know. Corsairs! Who brought them along? Every time I'm going for Corsairs, they are not working for me. I don't know. They are not working for some reason, and you have battle alternative and you wanna go Corsair, just go Mahouts. Not only you are getting better unit, but also you're getting the Archer, the Blow Darts or Headhunters. Yeah, unfortunately, okay units without having any uses. Maybe next to Numenorian Vanguard and the King's Guard, decent unit without uses, you know. Better than Lorien Warrior. Good against spam, and that's it. To be honest, if I'm going against spam, I would rather meet their spam with my spam of tribals. Unless it's like team game spam, then maybe. Money still. Yeah, money good. Money still is good, but I don't think it's good enough to guarantee them place in at least in B tier or higher. Zigor cultists, that's extremely tricky, but because we don't see them, I would say it's D tier. Dranzer.
Mm,
Matty probably
Dranzer
doesn't know
was
this
sick.
unit exists.
Why is it?
Ditcher.
Zigur
Easy.
Kultist.
Oh, it's like the sorcerer, right?
Yes.
It's like the
Oh, he
sorcerers.
knows. Hell yeah.
Single player unit. Let's
Why
go.
don't people use them? Is it considered lame or they're just not that good?
No, they're not that good. So, thing is, you have to micromanage them. You need extra building. If you want better abilities, then you have to level up Sanctum and buy those abilities. I think there's a lot of hassle for very little benefit.
Yes.
I don't know. Nosy would probably disagree, but I'm putting them in DT. I don't know. Whatever. Score. Big team guys, they can be good. True. With that tornado. But that's. I don't know. DT. Scorpion. Very good monster.
Underrated.
Amazing.
I mean, are they really
I keep forgetting
underrated?
to make them.
Are they underrated or they are just very costly to make? 800 for Pavilion and then 600 for Scorpion.
Hmm. True.
I would maybe very low S tier or high A tier. What do you guys?
High A tier because of
We
the
definitely don't see them enough.
We don't see them enough. I think because they are so pricey, it's very tempting to go hero over them, you know? And
Yes.
and if
Yeah,
you
you got the
don't,
heroes, you got the spam, you got the mahoods, you've got there's a lot of options.
and let's say if you don't get value from the first or the second Scorpion, then it's not looking well. The spam mahoods and the heroes are simply cheap, more safer option. It's get very difficult where to put them. Maybe. Hasharin. Lot of
Don't know what they
hassle.
are. What the heck are they?
So it's supposed to be oh my god. I'm trying to think about all the abilities they have. And I don't think I can recall even all the abilities they have. In short, it is a unit that's specialized in killing heroes as well as disrupting buildings. Don't ask.
For who? For which faction?
For Harad,
Harad?
Yeah.
Oh. And where'd you get them from?
Sanctum, level 2.
Okay.
So I think they make Hasharins and level 2 upgrade cheaper in the patch. But I don't think they are still worth it. The micromanagement you have to pull out to actually get any use from them is crazy. And micro is resource, as I said before when we were talking about the works. So I think unfortunately they go into D tier. I think their only niche use is in team games when the enemy is spamming archers and you make just few Hasharins and jump in with fan of knives and annihilate that archer block, but that is it. And they are almost useless against normal units without fan of knives. Monkey.
Monkeys.
Monkey is pretty good. Monkey is pretty tanky for some reason, but I think it's mainly attributed to the fact it's not running into the pikes. I think they trample deceleration. I mean, they decelerate extremely quickly. That's why they don't get that much damage. And when they start swinging, they simply knock back the pikeman. That's why they survive so much. A for apes, someone says. And I think he is right. Especially with support from the Beastmaster, not only they get extremely tanky with that leadership, they can also do a lot of damage, for example to a hero if Beastmaster marks a hero with their active ability. You can go Scorp, no need to Monkey, they do better damage. But
That's
Adivasi...
what I was thinking.
Yeah, but Scorpion isn't that good at dealing with units. I think Monkey can do very good against units, even against Pikemen. In the way I'm putting them next to Scorpions, but they are better in my opinion because A, they are faster, B, they can deal with units better. Excuse me. Warriors of the Mahout. I don't know if it's worth to go for a monkey for the splash. I don't know. It feels worth it, Adivasi. That's why I'm putting it next to it. Mahout Chieftain. You have to get level 2 gathering, which means you have to stop your Mahout production. Why would you do it? I don't know. It's not worth it. Like Mahout Chieftain buffs Mahout. But the thing is, he's not that difficult to take down, and you would rather have Mahout headhunters of warriors or warriors than the chieftain. Right. I don't even think that we should consider the discount he gives for Mumax, because that's more of the, I don't know, joke or fluff. Is it the tier? Is it C tier? I think it's C tier.
C tier.
Mahout Headhunters. How about giving faction extremely good archers almost instantly? I guess instantly. The range is not as good as like tier 2 archers on 1.5 tier archers, but the damage output is amazing. On top of that, they're Mahout, so they're extremely fast. I'm putting them somewhere in A tier. Next to Lorian archers, maybe better. Better than Galafrims? I think we are seeing more headhunters than Galafrims.
Yes.
Warriors of the Mahout. How about units that's extremely fast and can win with almost every unit early on? Like they only lose to Guardians and I think Bardings, and that is it.
And you shouldn't even be fighting Guardians with them anyway.
Yeah, you can just run around. Even you.
S tier.
Yeah. S tier Dranzer?
For me, yes.
Yeah, as you say, low S tier.
Yeah, I will put them just that low because they can be shut down by cavalry, so they have to pair
That's
them.
what I think, because you can't. Yeah, like with Bounders and all the other ones in there, you can get pikes as well. Whereas with Mahout, it's also a risky-ish opening. Like if the people go cav, then they're like, oh flip, I just wasted. But you have 2 units out at that point at 800, plus the Mahout gathering. It's like, oh, damn,
Yeah.
wasted 1200.
Yeah, and then like you're gonna be getting 1 Mahout, 1 Spearman. That's not very flexible. If, for example, you went into 3 outposts to spam Tribesmen, then you can spam a lot of units, like response to attacks, attack, and then you can make 1 outpost into level 2 to get cavalry. You know.
Such a cool unit.
Can't Variax beat them? I saw Variax beat Mahout, but at the same time, I saw Mahout beat Variax more often than Variax beat Mahout, so I have no idea who wins.
I don't know how it works.
All I
Like the
know,
other day with Wildmen and Bounders. Who was I playing against? Was it you, Concrete?
yeah, like sometimes
It's
Bander.
The Bounders got wrecked. I don't think the Wildmen lost like, that's like 2 units.
On paper, Banders should win because they have better stats, but I don't know, it's very weird.
I don't know what happened. It was a weird one.
Yeah, so I don't know who wins Variax of Mahouts. All I know that Snowworks looks to both Mahout and Variax. So yeah. Nafarati D tier.
Cat.
Yes.
Founders have terrible animations? Yeah, I think it might be. And so I think it's the only attribute of this unit you would get is the knockback. They did knockback and that's it. They can die quite easily. They are semi-heroic, so they get buffs, but there are not that many buffs for them. I don't know. Level 3 Pavilion as well. Pretty obsolete units, no point. Serpent Guards. So you probably want to get those bad boys as soon as you can, because your outriders suck.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's S tier. It's not only their necessity, they're also extremely good. So yeah, shit. S tier. Yeah, maybe somewhere here. They can't be trampled. Yeah, I guess that's also something. But in your army, you're gonna be having some spears. So, you know. That's siege Mumak. I think will ignore that because that's a siege, and we made siege tier list. Normal Mumak. I think the issue with normal Mumak is the unupgraded Mumak sucks, but upgraded Mumak is OP, but OP Mumak is extremely expensive, so nobody makes Mumaks in the end. Dranzer.
Exactly. If I see my enemy in 1v1 doing Mumax, I know that they are already winning and they are just throwing.
Yeah.
In team games, it's harder because it's harder to maneuver around them. And this is a walking, battering around hold by Ravagers, basically. But it's too expensive. Die to pikes, die to archers. No, just don't. Do something else.
Yeah, I've been defeated one by Mumax in 1v1. So maybe they're S tier, huh? Also multiple times Elva was spamming upgraded Mumax, that also was nightmare. So yeah. I don't know, C tier. Not D tier, but C tier.
No shit here.
Maybe something like this, I don't know. Doesn't matter much. Watchers of Karna. The cool thing, they're heroic pikes, which means they get revenge damage, but they kill swordsmen. But that's really it. I think the main thing is that they get super beefed up when using formations, but the formations in Age of the Ring, and I think maybe beef me in general, that they're very clunky. And especially formation for those boys, it's even more clunky than normal formations. So you don't put them in formations. Maybe when they will get fixed, one day they'll be good. But I think low C tier is the best I can give them. Should be good by dog shit, yeah. Yeah, probably making more Watchers of Karna than Danish Axemen and Barding Swordsmen. Boys, we are done. It took us only more than 3 hours, I guess, including intro and waiting. Yeah, it's 3 hours.
Oh fucking god.
Yeah.
Anyone
Just missed a 3v3 lobby as well.
Anyone for 2 minutes. So the new tier list, you could say tier list 2.0. I'm happy that I did it because I really been displeased by some of my decisions in the past, especially regarding, for example, Nordor. Why I put, for example, Nordor Glazeman A tier, I have no idea. Oh, Wombat, hello. This will be definitely the last tier list I'm going to make. The patch should be coming hopefully soon, and maybe in a few months, but at best. So yeah. Next stream will be probably 9.0 patch notes review. Anyway, everyone, thank you for watching, and I will see you later.